You will look that way, and you shall enjoy it. If you do not, then I will say to you, prepare, do it. I was about don't worry about it. Okay. You don't want to worry about it? I don't want to worry about it. Yeah. Don't look at my ass. Good evening. Welcome to the news or something. You don't know what I'm doing. Come here. Come here. Jesus, Goose. I just logged on. Goose, thank you, brother. Holy crap. I literally just turned on my computey box thingies. Holy shit. Hey, good video today. Yeah, well, you know, when you start off on the correct camera. Thanks, RG. Oh, you're talking about the video on the gun, which, by the way, is technically under the barrel. So it's still technically an underbarrel. Life's still a biche. Lamau, not the bloop tube on the Gerson. Oh, yeah, bro. Bloop tube on the Gerson for the frickin' win, bro. No recoil with the bloop tube on the Gerson. And they were both sent to me for review. So technically, I am within the spirit of both company's product. Because the Gerson is a very versatile platform. And the bloop tubes are also designed to be put under other firearms. So welcome to the Jiminy Show live stream, Friday, 3/28/2025. Hopefully your children are okay. If they aren't, what are you doing watching me? You should go find them. If you don't know where your children are, welcome to the 80s. But yep. What's up, Sway? Rukatu, frickin' title, man. Untitled Goose comes in strong off the Bizat with a huge frickin', and he does 5 more frickin' gifted subs. Holy crap, man. Gifted memberships. Let's see who got them. Sway, nice. Levi, cool. Honker Doodles, love the name. RG comes in with his own $50 donation. Sweet, holy crap. Thank you guys so much. Thunderbolt. I don't think Thunderbolt has ever really commented on here before. So, this flashbanger is for you there, Mr. Goose, Mr. Hunky Dunky. Check that out. It's an animal control round. So, yeah. Flashbango, not donkey dunk. DB says flare gun. There gun. Howdy. Hey, Chanson, what's up? And let's see, what else do we have behind me on the wall tonight? We've got I traded a bunch of old magazines for that SAR 9 above my head. So, you got a fancy new star. Yep, say thank you to Untitled Goose. Untitled Goose, he came in like a king and gifted 5 memberships to some of you lucky sons of bitches. And you got it because of that, so. Stone, what's up? Is that a real flashbang like SWAT uses? No, it's not at the same power level. This is from a company called Ordnance Group / Exotic Ammo. They're the ones that sent me the underbarrel and the standalone launcher. So yeah. Who's my favorite movie villain of all time? Oh, wow. That's a good question. Holy crap. It's a good question. Who would you say? Probably, oh, fudge. You ever see the original Blade Runner? The dude on top of the building, technically a villain, technically not. Steel frame SARs are like $289. Yeah, no, dude, they and the B6C is like freaking 180. Yeah, Goose is the man. Probably the only channel I'd want it for. Well, there you go. You got it good. DB says he's got to poop. Well, go poop then, man. Bought the Tanfoglio Witness in 45 ACP. I found out it has an upgraded slide. From what I've seen on the slide, Tanfoglios are 500 plus, so I'm stoked. I paid 460 for the gun. Yeah, Tanfoglio out of Italy. I've got their 9mm Witness, and I saw the picture that you posted up. It does have the slightly better slide on it. I will agree there. Please explain gifted memberships. So gifted memberships means that you can buy a certain number of memberships, and what happens is I get the donations as if 5 more people paid the $2 to join the channel. So if you sent 5 memberships, then technically I get $10 minus YouTube's 30%. Should I trade two P10s for a Shadow 2? If you can get a Shadow 2 for just 2 P10s, I would actually say yeah, man. Gifted like the autism. You're just mad that you didn't get gifted one. Wonder if I can gift you one, DB. Can I gift you one? Let me see. Remove as managing moderator. Put user in timeout and hide user. Nope, I can't do that. Sorry, bud. But I believe I haven't done anything that will allow you. So I have 10 that I can give out. So I'm going to give out 5 gifted membership. Let's see what happens. All these memories will be lost like teardrops in the rain. Yep. What's better for EDC, a 38 revolver or a Glock 43, both 6-shot? I'd still take the revolver. So Hatfield got one. Ken, Caden, Grizzy. Nope, that didn't happen. So let's try that one more time. I got 5 more left. Let's see what happens. I get a certain number every month that I can give away, so let's see what happens. I got 5 left. Bolt, Ziggy, Mark, S&M, and Susie. God dang. I allowed gifts. Yeah, apparently you didn't get one though, DB. Sorry, bro. So all these random people that are sitting here watching the channel right now just got gifted memberships. Oh, that's hilarious. So all you new people that just got a gifted membership, hit the like button. Because, hey, now you get notifications even though you don't want them. Why Revolver instead of Glock 43? Because Glocks are boring. If I'm going to defend my life, I'd like to be interested in what I'm doing. The DB never gets gifts. You get to see me 3 times a week. That's gift enough, son. Also, referring to yourself in the third person makes me want to take back all the gifts I ever gave you. Fake guns. Fake guns kill fake people. DB's crying. That happens. Cool, you said it twice. You're an internet pioneer, my friend. Oh, shit. And like most internet pioneers, you just got your nuts cut off. Sorry, bud. Should you load a revolver to 5 or 6? If you have a revolver and it has 6 holes, you load it to 6 rounds. Most modern day revolvers have what's called a transfer bar safety on it, so they won't go off if you just smack the hammer. But if you're at a time where, if you're at a point in your gun training where you're too afraid to carry a gun that's fully loaded, then put it down. Carry something else. Got one of the first giveaways. I still use that safe on my nightstand every night. Nice. Youngblood has a 430 credit score. I remember being Jacob. Okay. What flavor in the bottle? It's Weiler's Island Punch. So basically fruit punch. Picked up the OG Beretta APX today. Pretty sweet. Nice. 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 Yeah, you still got your gun safe. I appreciate. I like that, dude. I really wish Blacksmith hadn't turned into a bunch of tards. And yeah, I say the word tard on my channel. I also say the word moron, fiduciarily incompetent, speculum, gynecology, and trigger. Why does Hickok only load 5 when there's 6 holes? Does he actually only load 5, or did you watch the one video where he shows you why a revolver can go off? Number one, Hickok can do what he wants. If he believes in his heart of heart that he's teaching you something, great. If he doesn't, then that's just what he feels, man. I can't speak to Hickok's way of thinking. I can only tell you what I know. And again, it's just like people that ask me, should I carry one with one in the chamber? Or should I carry one, or should I decock a 1911? The fact that you ask, not you personally, but I mean the fact that people ask me those questions means that those people should not have that type of firearm, because you either don't trust yourself with that firearm or you don't trust that firearm. In either case, you either need to train yourself out of that belief, or you need to find a gun that fits your needs better. Not snorting a packet, DB. Nobody wants to pay for that. AIM says unissued brand new APXs for $299. Nice. Who makes a good snub nose revolver for EDC? A lot of different companies do, my friend. Smith & Wesson does. The Ruger's, the Ruger LCR-X is really good. They are also shrouded hammers, so that also makes them a little extra safe. They are double action only, but they're pretty good. Not So Mean comes in for $1. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. You guys don't have to donate. When you do, it makes you kings, and I'm never going to say no. Not that I could. I don't know where there's a button that says refund, but I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I got gifted a sub. Yeah, Ziggy, you did. Dale, what's up? I'll forego my gifted membership. Nice. You picked up 2 of the militaries. That's cool. Does your tools look like a honeycomb? The reason I ask is I'm thinking about getting a honeycomb. Not really. So I have random Tekken stuff, or like tech inspired, so circuitry kind of stuff. You can see I got like circuits and then processors and stuff like that. I will be doing a honeycomb underlay. That's going to be in red and black, so it's going to be like a shadow, drop shadow underlay. But I have kind of like a circuit and trace design going on that arm. Has 9 hidden penis tattoos. No, it's got 1 giant dick right there. I always make sure my personal protection water pistol is always half full. Lol. What do I think about background checks? Well, right now there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm going to deal with it. But I do believe that if you don't believe in the background check, then so be it. Find a state that allows you to have private party sales and go live there. But as long as I'm forced to play ball with the ATF to maintain my FFL and my rights as a gun owner, I'm not jumping to the anarchy level of fuck the government, burn it all down. But I am an armed citizen who is prepared, if there were a tyrannical uprising in the government, that I would be willing to do my part. But I am not somebody that sits here and says, oh, well, screw you, you want a background check? I mean, it could also be because I'm an instant approval and I don't have anything in my background that stops me. I only had 1 small hammer fired, which is the P938. Like it because it's small, cocked and locked is definitely the way to go. And I say it in the video for the Gerson, if you haven't seen that video, and a lot of videos where a gun has a grip safety and an external manual safety, things like that. If the gun has it, use it. Train it. Train to use it. It's not hard. It's just like anything else. When your mommy taught you to sit on the potty and go into the toity bowl, you learned how to do that. It's the same way with guns. I've been to private parties before. Had to put your car keys in a bowl at the door. Odd. Oh, yeah, I did that once. I left with some other lady. It was really cool. You can do private part sales. Lol. Nice. Do you think Trump could be this government? What? Oh, with tyrannical shiz? Nah. He's an idiot, but he's not tyrannical. Now, if Elon stays in his ear and becomes an effectual earworm like Rasputin, and winds up making him do stupid shit, could get there. John, yes I do, but I don't play the do I have game. If you see it behind me, awesome. If you don't check the channel to see if there's a video, there's 1,500 gun videos. If you watch one of those videos and I don't say I borrowed the gun, then it's my gun. I wouldn't be too sure about Trump not being tyrannical. He's already teased trying for a 3rd term. That's not being tyrannical. That's trying to play the game. That's slightly different. If he had said, screw you, I'm not leaving, then he runs into the Putin side of it where he's trying to become tyrannical. But he wants to be it because he firmly believes in himself that he's the best choice for the country. Politicians are all assholes. So Walther or Sig for carry? Either one. They're both fine by me. Biggest manufacturer cucks, Sig or Q. In what respect? Hello, Emil. What's up? Yeah, but basically, I'm not a big fan of talking politics. If we do, we do. If we don't, I'd prefer not to, just because as a idiot on the internet, I really don't think you should be following my advice when it comes to politics, because I don't have a history in politics. I don't have a history in service to a community. So I honestly don't know the ins and outs of running governmental offices. I know what I see based on things that I hear and read and know about, but that doesn't make me qualified to give you an opinion. And neither does Fox, CNN. Oh, we're specialized analysts. No, you're analists. Hey, how's it going? I see you got a new EDC on the top there. Yep. I was trying to make sure I limited the recoil. Just sent out my Glock 19 back, bought it, bro, 4 days ago. Took the range yesterday, got failure battery, didn't want to take hollows, try a couple different ammo, didn't want to take it. That's interesting. What's the best caliber to get a snub nose revolver in? What do you mean, Sig? Of course, you're Swiss. Sig is German. Fair enough. I'll leave political discussion to the boring gray rooms where it belongs. Yep. Why does Canada have more gun than America, but only a fraction of gun? Wow, Jepper, you really think Canada has more guns than the United States? I have more guns than Canada on my wall right now. So why don't you double check what you just typed, son? What are your thoughts on the new Smith & Wesson Micro 2.0? If you're talking about the Bodyguard 2.0, looks fine. I've played with it a little bit, but I haven't done any shooting with it. Would 357 out of such a short barrel be hard to shoot? Not really, as long as you have some sort of firearm control. It's a flashbang. You're not going to get the same muzzle velocity as you would out of like a 4 or 6-inch barrel, but 357 is not that hard of a round to shoot. Am I Asian? Yes, I'm half Korean. You can shoot a snub nose 100 yards. It's difficult, and it's going to take a bunch of tries, but you can do it. Where is Raj? Which Raj are you referring to, my son? Rajesh? Rajesh will come later. I don't think you are ready for him today. No gun is designed for anything, DB. I can make it do whatever I want it to. If I want to take my underbarrel grenade launcher and shoot it 400 yards, I can if I am 500 yards up in an airplane. Swiss Army uses SIG. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you for clarifying, Tanuki. Just making sure. So an article that 49% of the world's firearms are in the United States. Rookie numbers, we can do better. Lol. Can you shoot a... Well, considering we have 5% of... What is it? 5% of the world's population? 8 billion people, and we only have 349 million people in the United States. Yet we have 49% of the guns. I think we're doing okay. Can you shoot a 308 win out of a 243 win? Serious question. I'm going to ask you to look at the numbers that you typed. 308 versus 243. Do you honestly think something that's 30 cal can fit into something that's 25 caliber? I want that nade launcher. Get one! I also have the standalone, but that one's mounted underneath a 2311 or a 2011. Does the Swiss Army use Swiss Army knives? Actually, Swiss Army knives are a joke. What is that tube handgun? That is the Ordnance Group underbarrel launcher attached to my Gerson 2311 Match X. So that is a 2011 with a underbarrel grenade launcher attached to it. 357 mag snub nose over 9mm. There's no reason to carry a 9mm revolver, because if you're carrying a 9mm revolver, you also have to use moon clips. It adds an extra level of complexity, my friend. Also, the bullet itself is 9mm either way. 357 is 9mm neck down to in a 10mm casing, basically. Basically. Go ahead, fuckers. Go ahead. Be technical. Basically. That's a sniper hook to the 2011. You betcha, militant. It also has the light on it. Do you see I put my Surefire Scout light on there? So it's my home defense gun now. So I have the flashbangs and I have the boob tube and I follow it up with 20 rounds of 9mm. Of course, we use a Swiss Army knife. It's given to us, and it's not a joke. Very well made. But the ones you get are actual good ones. I'm talking about the little red ones we buy at the airport. Those are jokes. Do you have enhanced depth perception? If you're referring to my eyes being wide, that is not depth perception. That is area, POV. How come a lot of states require a license except Florida, Texas, and New Hampshire? That is not true. Not even close to being true. More states do not require licenses or permits for firearms than do. I have a Swiss Army knife. I just use a scissor knife and cork opener for home use. 9 short is not a long 9. Yeah. I've only ever fired the SA-80. Builds up so much carbon, it's unreal. Nice. Saw AR-10 on YouTube that shot a 308 and 243. That's what tripped me out. Well, a long action recoil system in an AR-10 can be chambered in different things, but you have to change the barrel and the entire upper. You can't just look at the numbers because typically, my friend, the beginning number is the start of the diameter of the round. Even if you look at 45 ACP versus like 455 Webley, 45 ACP is 0.455. So when you're talking about trying to shove something that's 0.308 into something that's 0.243, it just logically by just spatial reasoning can't fit in the same hole. Now, an AR-10 with the long action setup or the bigger bullet setup, if you want to put it that way, is capable of firing a 243, but you need a different upper, you need a different barrel. It's not going to, the extractor can't hold something that's bigger than a smaller. Can you name this to the false info and fact checking stream? No, I'm cool, man. People are just being weird tonight. As long as it's from Victorinox, it should be okay. Cool. Cody, what's up, man? I live in Massachusetts and got denied. I have never been arrested. Well, there's lots of reasons to be denied. You don't just have to be arrested. If you've ever had a restraining order taken out against you, if you've ever been committed against your will, you can get denied. There's lots of determining factors. You can also call the state police that run your background and ask them for the actual reason for denial, unless it was for another reason, in which case they will call you. Why are the guns on the pegboard always different? Because I run a gun store and I'm selling guns from time to time, and I also keep running across different stuff. You enjoy my Ches. Thank you. 5-inch, just because, so people will tell you a 4.25. So there are caveats, okay? 4.25 is an ideal length for a 9mm gun, just because of the cyclic rate of the slide is more conducive to a weaker powered cartridge. But I personally prefer a 5-inch gun just because it looks better, it's better balanced, and you get a longer sight radius. You wouldn't think 3/4 of an inch matters, but just ask your mom, it matters. What's my favorite toothpaste? Colgate. Tastes good when you put it on peanut butter crackers. You definitely did a barrel swap. Thanks for the info. Okay, Demon, no problem. Can you get denied if you look homeless? No, but if you come in and you smell, like, in the United States, federally, marijuana is still considered a controlled substance. So if you walk into a gun store, even in a state that has state level marijuana as legal, and you reek of weed, you're not buying a gun unless that gun store is willing to overlook the fact that you smell like weed, and you're going to check no on a federal document, thus committing a felony. So you can still get turned down, let's say, if you walk into a gun store. And if you come into my gun store freaking smelling like alcohol, like reeking of it, I'm not selling you a gun. Is there a 10-round Gerson that is comparable to the Match X you reviewed today? I mean, you can buy 10-round Checkmate mags, but in terms of like a Match X with the Island Comp, no. But I am going to be putting that slide, here's a bit of a spoiler, I'm going to take that slide and put it on my Influencer X, which is a 10-round 9mm 1911. You need to stop by the shop. Sure, you do. Just make sure you send me an email or a text first. 1911 only comes in government size. Our 45 ACPA and 70 series. I agree with you, DB. Pistol Man, if a Beretta 92 could choose its favorite snack, would it prefer crunchy bullets or soft marshmallow targets for a fun shooting range treat? I would go with a nice package of crunchy bullets. He's going to buy me a high-power Nerf gun. They're out there. There's a guy that made one that shoots at like 700 miles an hour. So you're saying Fed trumps state? No. State trumps federal unless it's something that's federally controlled. So, as stupid as the agreements are, when something is agreed to be federally controlled, then that particular item trumps state. But like I said, here in the state of Virginia, recreational marijuana is legal. So, technically, yeah, on a state level, no problem. But if it's an item that's federally controlled, then no, it's bullshit. But it is what it is. Americans are usually imperial measurements, but in case of bullets, you use metrics. How come? Not always. So you have things like 9x18, 9x19 for 9 millimeters. So 9 millimeter is 9x19, or you have 357, 10 millimeter, 45 ACP. So there's no actual set standard for a round's nomenclature. It's just whatever the designer of that round decided to use at the time. Trust me, if some American dude could have said 1/100,000th of the Titanic per round, they would have. What should I look for in a wife? You're asking the wrong guy, my guy. Are we looking at a staccato in the top left corner? No, but it basically is a staccato, just, for the price a staccato should be sold for. That is the Gerson 2311 Match X. Is that a Peacemaker or a Vaquero behind your head? Nope, that is a Pieta, Taylor's and Company, 1873 Single Action Army. Would a 357 be better than a 44 for EDC? What's better is being fully versed in practice in whatever you choose to carry, Josh. So if you choose to carry a 44 Magnum, you know what? Then that's going to be what you're going to be good at. If you're great with the 357, if you're great with the 380, a 9mm, 45 ACP, or a gosh darn 50 AE, man, it doesn't matter what size you're shooting. It matters your level of competency with that firearm. If you have no firearm control, no trigger discipline, and you're just sending shots wherever, it doesn't matter if you have an 80mm howitzer. You're gonna, are you saying Checkmate mags can fit a 2011 but only hold 10 rounds? No, you can buy 10-round Checkmate mags for certain places, or you can buy block-off plates. So I have a single stack 1911 that holds 10 rounds. But your CDL is federal, so you can't have weed in your system. Well, most times when you have a CDL, yeah, I agree. And like in Minnesota, where I had mine, like we had a tow truck, you can't even carry beer in it. Somehow for fitness, it's all over the place too. When people say grams of protein per pound of body weight, is hilarious to me. After your video this morning, Honest Outlet comes out with his video on the gun as well. He pretty much trashed it. He did not do a video on the Gerson. He did a video on the Military Armament Corporation Double Stack 9. Different gun. Is that a Beretta Cheetah 82? No, it's a Beretta Model 84 in 380. Is that a staccato with the grenade launcher? No, it looks like a staccato, and a lot of people can be forgiven for thinking it is because of the island comp, but that's the Gerson, my guy. Oh, people coming in trying to be funny. I've got mods that'll take care of your shit as soon as you guys start, man. No problem, Dale. In Switzerland, I guess most people have a gun because they are part of the military or use it for sports and hunting. How about the U.S.? The United States, the vast majority of gun owners that are not military or law enforcement is for enthusiast reasons. There are some out there that will do it because they are evil. If you are an evil person, then you have a gun because you're an asshole. And McManus, you motherfucker. Hey, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate that. If you ever come out here, I'll let you shoot the 2011 with the grenade launcher. Can you carry in a truck if I'm CDL commercial licensed truck driver? I'm not sure. I've never tried carrying a gun while having a CDL. I didn't get my first gun until after I was done working. Guile, what's up, dude? Do I have a 30-30? Yes, I do. Top Gun looks like a cannon attached. Not a cannon, a signal launcher. Self-defense. Yes, that is true, but that's just to protect us against the evil assholes who don't know how to respect things. Beretta and 380 is a really good EDC. Anything is a really good EDC as long as you practice. I want the underbarrel so badly. No, Stone, it is not a grenade launcher. The actual designation of the 37 millimeter, when it was designed and implemented by the armed forces, it was always a signal launcher. It was never classified as a grenade launcher, which is why it does not fall under NFA. What's my everyday carry? Mine's a 1911. Jojo trying to get that stream cut. No, all I'm doing is holding a shot glass. This is just an aluminum shot glass. The primer is so it mixes the drink quickly. Do I have a 450 Bushmaster? Nope. I think a lot of people have a gun because they live in a bad area. See, that's a very internet-driven assumption. Here's the thing that you guys need to understand, and a lot of people don't understand geo caching, or not caching, but geography. 90%, actually 95% of Americans live within 10% of our land. So to say that you live in a bad area, that doesn't fly. Yes, there are bad areas that people live in, but even in those places, that's not people don't just have guns because they live in a bad area. I have a 320 I want to turn into a Stalingrad. If you stay in state, you don't need a medical card, at least where I am. I actually have a CDL Class A, a legal suppressor, and a medical card, all valid. I got them in the right order. Well, if you got it in the order that you have it listed, that makes sense. Here in the state of Virginia, if you have a medical card, you will not be getting a firearm or a suppressor. In your state, if you had a 7.5-inch upper to an AR lower with an adjustable stock, that makes it an AR pistol. Just the word stock, Air Max. If it's a stock and it's under 16-inch barrel, it's automatically an SBR. Brace is the only allowable manipulation aid available for AR pistols. Both my first 1911 in 2008, you still use it as your EDC. Ain't cool. The old guns still run well. Yes, 100%. I know that you said grenade launcher. I don't know what I said. I don't believe you, Stone. I want you to start your YouTube channel up and do it for me. I live in a great area and loan lots of guns, so it probably offsets the statistics. Yeah, same thing too. So when people, Lisa, please refrain from asking, do I have questions? I don't answer those kind of questions over and over. Sorry. But yeah, I offset it too. So, hello, Eagle Scout. Some people in Switzerland have a gun for self-defense, but since their country is pretty safe, it's almost pointless to get a gun for this reason. Exactly. You have a gun, you're not in a bad area. And neither am I. I left the keys in a $50,000 Scat Pack Challenger for a week. Nobody stole it from my driveway. Silly to get a card in VA. Absolutely silly. But some people think having the medical card allows you to pay even less shit attention to the rules. Attachment. That's it, DD. It's an attachment. Thanks to whoever gifted me a sub. Somebody did. Both Goose and I started giving out memberships today. Stone is correcto. Okay, well, I don't care. Well, that's a given. Everyone in this chat, if they have one, is for enthusiast reasons. That's what we say. Thoughts on Orthos Raiders? I heard that is actually a really quality shotgun, but I have not put my hands on one. We don't encourage false state. Yeah, so here's the deal. I will not recommend anybody to lie on a federal document. Even if you feel that federal documents are unconstitutional, if you feel all gun laws are unconstitutional, which I do, I am not going to sit here and say the words do not I am not going to sit here and say fill out a federal document and lie. That is, I can't do that. Does it count as a vertical grip? Which one? On the thingy? No, because it's actually horizontal. Haven't showed up at the range still. Dude, that pistol is freaking gnarly. Read my statements? What statement? Who are you talking to? Me? Like it's concerning you might actually own guns. What the hell's going on? You guys fucking cool it. Both of you cool it. Orthos M4 clone Raiders are mostly American made. That's its regular version where it's mostly Turkish parts. Gotcha. Like I said, if I ever get my hands on an Orthos, I'll check it out. The pistol with the t-shirt launcher is awesome. Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'm talking about lying on a 4473. Oh, well, wise man once told me you can do things and just not tell people. So, and again, I don't want you two fighting, DB McManus. If you're disagreeing on who said what, that's fine, move on. Just both of you stop, please. You're harshing my fucking vibe. I don't care if you donate it to me. I'll time you both fuckers out. Such bitter. No, stop. Stop. I'm not saying lie on a federal forum. Brady, what's up, kid? I'm not fighting. Well, then just don't encourage each other, all right? This isn't the place for that shit. Go over to Grantham if you want to be assholes. After watching your stream, I took my girl on a date later tonight. Okay. What rifle would you recommend for hunting deer? I don't hunt. I know a lot of people will use stuff like 30-30s, 243s, 270s, things like that. So I really don't have a great answer. I'm sorry. Did my super chat go through? I didn't see it. Nick, yes, it did. I'm so sorry, dude. I was tied up in people fucking with each other, and I didn't want to. I missed it. I'm sorry, Nick. Everybody apologize. DB, say you're sorry to Nick. I missed his super chat because you guys were fighting, and you made me feel like a bad little girl. I gave in and ordered the SAR B6S with the stainless slide for $189. Nice. Thoughts on the Strikeman dry fire laser training? Never messed with it, man. Yeah, so I appreciate that, Nick. Sorry about that, brother. With 3D printing to be super prominent in the gun community, what parts attachments do you think could see a benefit of being 3D printed? Literally none. So 3D printing is an interesting thing, and it's not super prominent. It's just you're into that part of the internet that promotes it. 3D printing is not as widely received as you think it is. 3D printed handguns are, without fail, not even close to as durable or reliable as a real firearm. I would not trust any 3D printed part outside of maybe a box to put it in. Hey, Brian. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. So happy that you're here, brother. Thank you. I'm seeing a lot of foregrip designs being made via 3D printing, high-temp polymers. Yeah, but that's not part of a gun, man. So saying, that's like saying that you printed grips on a 3D printer. I don't consider those parts of a gun. Those are accessories. What about P80 Gen 3 Glock? No. Nothing like at-home printing. Yeah, if you want to build your own grenade, go for it. Seen videos on the Rate shotgun, some decent videos, and somewhere the pump action part has broken. Yep. Hey, Don, what's up, dude? Hey, I need to know if any of you guys have the 365 Spectre comp or the comp one. Let me know if you have one with the 12-round grip. Do you have a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard? Nope. Carmine, I doubt 3D printing is related to suppressors. You'd be wrong. There are companies, a lot of companies, because you can do metal printing and printing with a lot of 3D printing stuff. See, the new one in their sand color. Bum, 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 bum. 3D printed guns are great if you need to go to airport security. Oh yeah, that always works. So the vast majority of what you can 3D print using polymers, it's been shown, have been channels back before YouTube stopped allowing 3D printed firearms to really be prevalent, that if you 3D print the slide, even if you have the metal inserts, PLA, PETG, high temp polymers, all of them will fail. There's no standard polymer that you can 3D print with that can withstand the pressure side of a firearm. That's why everybody that does 3D printing, oh, you can 3D print an AR lower. Great, because that part of the gun doesn't contain any of the pressure of the firearm. Same thing with your Glock clones, your P80s, all these things that you can print. They don't actually take the full force of the gun. And the parts that do are metal reinforced. So that's why they technically function. But dude, I have sold guns for 6 years, and in that time, I have never seen a P80 build from anybody, a 3D print or a P80 or an 80%er, that has been close to quality. How do you like Walther? They're fine. What do you think would be better purchase, XP Pro or Platypus? Platypus, just because the XP Pro is cool, but I hate their design. I got a new toy. Which would you get? You got the Ruger 57? Awesome. Carbon fiber reinforced. Yes, you can do carbon fiber reinforced plastic, but you guys also got to understand, carbon fiber reinforced means that it uses strands of carbon fiber. Carbon fiber is only strong in one direction. You can snap carbon fiber like a twig if it's not layered correctly. They do fail. Some just last longer than others. Lots of high round count printed firearms use CF nylon. Granted, high round count is like 1,000 for printed guns. Exactly. And that's what I mean. 1,000 rounds, is that worth it? Not to me. What did I do before selling guns? I've done a little bit of a lot of stuff. No, I wasn't a model. I used to sell guns. I've worked in all kinds, or not, I used to sell cars. I worked in all kinds of industries. Boom, 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 boom. What's your favorite 40 cal pistol? Favorite 40 cal pistol would probably be CZ P07 and 40 cal. Tried a few P80s and all I ever had were problems. There you go. I've seen good P80 builds. I have yet to, so you're in the community, I'm not, I guess. So the guy with the ski mask and all the printed Glocks is off YouTube. No, he still does it, and he doesn't just do Glocks. That's PSR, print, shoot, repeat. He just can't show the process, and he doesn't really print as much as he used to. Opinion on the M&P 2.0 versus Glock within getting a duty pistol. Either one is going to service you very well. The M&P has a better trigger. It's, I would say, on par in terms of reliability, and you don't have Glock. But either one will do you well. It just depends on what you're more comfortable with. If you have a history of carrying and shooting Glocks, then stay with Glocks. If you have a history of shooting anything nice, go with the Smith & Wesson. Everybody take a quick moment, double tap your screen. Absolutely, all you fuckers. There's 110 of you. What I need you guys to do for me, yes, people donate to the channel. You guys are freaking awesome. You're my heroes, and you help me buy all the Tang I can drink. But for the rest of you guys, if you're just having a good time, you're sitting there going, this son of a bitch knows what he's talking about, and he doesn't know what he's talking about, so we're going to make fun of him. Either way, just double tap the screen, like the video. It shows YouTube that I can monetize all my videos, so I take Google's money and not yours. So to all of you that like, subscribe, chat, all that shit, you're my heroes. The only P80 stuff I've seen that works is their serialized in-house builds. Even then, they're a little bit iffy. I had a P80 that I had to T-cut because it wasn't cut right for the mags. What does aluminum foil form an octagon when shot? Why does it form an octagon? I have no idea. Check your email. That one? Are those real guns? Nope. P80 works 50% of the time. It works 23% of the time. 100% of the time, it works some of the time when it works and it doesn't work. Is that the 12 round grip? That looks like a macro grip. I need the original Spectre with the comp on it. If you ever shot anything nice, get Smith & Wesson. Pretty much. Double tap. Thank you guys. Freaking feds. What's up, Amarali? Opinion on 43X. It's an okay gun. It has a better grip angle than most Glocks, and it's thin like a 1911, but it's a useless gun in my opinion. No, I can't pick up guns. That is a Para Ordnance 1345. If you want to, take a minute, jump off the stream, click on the name of my channel. It's one of the most recent videos I did. It'll tell you everything about it. I've seen the Garand thumb torture test with the MP 2.0. That's got me looking at them coming from a SIG guy. Yes, because of the articulated trigger, it did manage to shoot after the freezing test. That was an impressive video. Why is there a grenade launcher on a pistol? Because I got bored this morning. My buddy Jacob came in because I have him making me security doors and window coverings for my store. And we were screwing around and I showed him the underbarrel and then I decided to mount it because the Gerson has the full dust cover. So it's a long enough dust cover to attach the whole thing to. 17 round grip, I can stick it on the 12 round grip, lol, why? Oh no, I have a customer looking for one and they don't sell it anymore. Most comfortable concealed carry for a novice. That's a difficult question, buddy, because the way I answer any question when it comes to concealed carry is you are not going to be the same as me. You may agree that a 1911 could be a great concealed carry gun. You may not. So the best thing for you to do is if you know buddies that have different firearms, ask to see them and try them, maybe see how they feel. I know you can't rent guns to stick in your pants. That's an odd thing to do, but you know, if you have buddies that have different firearms, you got a buddy that has a Glock, a Smith & Wesson, a Bodyguard, whatever, ask to borrow them and see how they feel, especially if they have a holster. You need to see what fits to you. I can't tell you what's going to work for you. I carry a 5-inch government model 1911. Jude has to head out. Have a good weekend. You too, brother, because it works better than a light. With this shot glass, this one does. Glug, glug, glug. This is a shot glass. Those things on the wall are blasters and various space films. Pretty much. Oh, gotcha. Might have to buy the parts and build it out. There you go. How do you feel? How do I feel about HK USP models measure up to all the newer pistols in the last 20 years? The USP is a very good pistol. I'm not a fan of polymer frame at all, but I will acknowledge that the USPs are very good shooting, very solid guns. In terms of like newer pistols comparing for the last 20 years, they hold up just as well. Piano, cello, what the hell is going on, you silly billies? Most are like gutters, though. Low. Bro, let me put it in my pants. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be awkward finding that. Best thing in law enforcement training, you carry what they let you carry. Yeah. What kind of suppressors do you like? The ones that make the gun quieter. I've had suppressors that make the gun louder, and they just don't seem to work right. Which state are you from? State of arousal, because mommy and daddy did the nasty, and 7 months later I was born. XD40 is your concealed. There you go. My experience with the Smith & Wesson MP after a lot of use and the whole takedown toll, it falls out after a while. Do the 2.0 still have that in the grip? Yes, they do. That's interesting that yours is falling out. I've never had that happen. Hello, what it do? Hey, 15. You want a 12 round for 365, why not get a 10 and you can have the +3? No, I have a customer that's looking for a very specific 365, Sam. They did a 365 Spectre comp, like the 320. It's got the 3-inch barrel with a compensator on the end and a 12 round grip frame. It's an actual model. Some guy just randomly came in and just said guitar. Gotcha. Would you ever get a PS90? Nope. I don't willingly want to buy a bullpup because you sacrifice a good trigger, and I don't want to sacrifice a trigger unless it's full auto. I'm going to get a Loudener like the cartoons. I had a Loudener for a while. Looked at a CZ97, SIG 220 Legion. Any recommendations? I'll probably go with the CZ. I had bad luck with my 220 Legion, so I'm going to direct you towards the CZ. Also, the CZ holds more. You just sold your XD40? Holy shit, you sold one of your guns? What versus dry suppressor? Inserts dirty jokes. Lol. I carry a Glock 17 every day and every season, but I'm thinking of grabbing something smaller for certain carry scenarios. Any thoughts? Well, if you're carrying a 17 every day and every season, you're going to probably go with a 19, no matter what we say. It's a 17 with a shorter overall size. So, I mean, if you're comfortable and you're practiced with the Glock, unless you're an enthusiast, in which case you would probably be able to know your own decision better than we would. That 365 sounds insane and concussive. It's a little bit loud and bangy. What's my favorite potato dish? Usually like a really good buttermilk ranch smashed potatoes. I don't like mashed potatoes. I like smashed potatoes where they still have chunks and little bits of skin on them. I might be talking about potatoes or humans. I can't remember. When I looked at it, didn't have a decocker. You don't need a decocker. Fuck that. Also, 97 BDs are very rare. Most of them don't have a decocker. It's picky about ammo though. Ball and most Hornady hollow points are good to go, but some of the others are iffy when feeding because the ramp is so steep. Yo, is that a 1911 with a grenade launcher? Yes, but why the sad and worried face? What's wrong with a 1911 with a grenade launcher on it? That's awesome. Do I like the 9mm? Sure. Sold it to a buddy who didn't have any guns. Straw purchase. You're right, Joe. He did on EEA Mac 9 DSD comp. Thanks for correction. No problem, dude. Yeah, and he said it wouldn't run on reman ammo. If you see, I left a comment because he started the video without even knowing who manufactured the gun, so I corrected him. Thoughts on the Hellcat 3-inch barrel? Not really. It shoots. 320s are grenades. Well, they're actually self-correcting, what do they call those? Prophecies. The grenade part comes from when the unsupported chamber decides to take a walk. Have you bought the RXM? I did buy one for the store, and I already sold it. It's a Gen 3. It's a freaking dagger with good quality control. That's all it is. Trying to make a P320 you think is good? Sure. 97 BD have decocker from factory installed with safety option in the box. I had to. Yep. Like I said, I'm just saying they're a little bit harder to find right now. MUP, one good 80%. MUP? What's MUP? What's your favorite handgun? I don't have a favorite handgun round. I actually said that in the short that I put up. I don't care about the round. I don't care about caliber. I care about guns. If a gun is only available, like if you want a Colt Delta Elite, you're getting a 10 mil. If you want a Glock that is hood rat, then you're getting a 40 cal. So, Doopa. It was my second gun I bought. I've had it for 7 years, never took it to the range, so I figured it was time to go. Well, give me back my TSO, motherfather. Surefire RC3 or Huxworks Flow? I have no idea, brother. I'm not a suppressor guy. Reduce the barrel on the 320 with an aftermarket one and get one with the newer FCU, and the 320 is probably fine. Not worth it because it's always a roll of the dice, but that's not the best way to go. No, it's just, I wish I had a good answer for all you people out there. I've had exceptionally good luck with my 320 X5 Legion. Will you? Who knows? I like mine. Can't say you're going to have the same experience. You can explain why the SIG 220 Legion is so much more than the CZ97. Is it worth the price difference? This is my first 45 ACP. Honestly, no. The 220 Legion is expensive because it's a Legion. Every Legion gun, except the X5 Legion, because that's a tungsten grip, is overpriced, honestly. I wanted a semi-auto that would stop a grizzly, so I got a 460 rolling. Okay, there you go. I have Pokemon for sale. Okay, you're in the wrong channel, bro. SIGs are always far too expensive. No, that's HK. I have small hands. What should I buy? 43X or Gen 19? Gen 5 Glock 19. Well, the 43X is a lot thinner, but the overall size of the gun, height and length, is going to be the same. It's just the width that's shorter. So you need to go and put your hands on both and spend a little bit of time with both and see what feels good to you, my guy. I know little girls can shoot both, so unless you have those little hilariously small plastic cans, either one is fine. Went to the movies yesterday to watch The Chosen. Nice. Thoughts on CZP-10? It's a good gun. Get one. What's up, bro? What's up, brow? Not much. Eyelash. Do you collect guns, or are you at a point where guns collect you? No guns have ever collected me, my friend. I am in control of all my habits, although I just got that SAR 9 today, so who knows. Buy ones, cry ones, HK. No, 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 no. HK, screw you. That's their motto. That's the Yale. What the? The G19 grip feels just barely too short for me, so I got a G45 instead. Okay. Have you tried boofing progesterone? You understand what progesterone you does? How the hell do you have the word fucking in your username? That's impressive. How are the SARS? The SARS are fine. If you look at it closely, it's got like an HK P30 VP9 lower and a Glock 17 upper. They collect you for owning guns. You have the Lynx 12 gauge. You have the Turkish. Great. Am I in the military? No, sir. No military service. Thank you for asking, though. Any suppressor suggestions for PDW, PCC? Looking to put one on my X-Tar. You'd have to ask the guys here in the chat or Google it. Sorry, my guy. Are there any 380 guns you really like? I want to get something for girlfriend. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 seems pretty solid. I haven't shot it, but you should try boofing progesterone now. You understand what progesterone will do to a male? I'm not ready to fully transition, son. FN 509 or Glock 19? Oh, that's a trick question. I wouldn't trust either one of those. Effing is a noun too. There you go. I don't know why, but I'm overheated again. There's a city called Effing in Austria. Nice. The F509, it's a solid P10, P20C clone. Yeah. Yeah. Plus, they like to self-disassemble. So, no, cannot mail you anything to Canada, my friend. Number one, the export tax on things that aren't firearms is ridiculous. And if you're asking about firearms-related shite, nothing. Coffee enemas. No. You want to stick coffee in your bunghole, you do that. Oh, you fatherless children. So I'm going to be hanging out with a buddy of mine tomorrow, and we're going to shoot the signal launcher and the Gerson with the signal launcher attached. You see what it does with recoil. So make sure that you come back next week for that. Although my buddy Daniel has my truck right now because I'm working on his tortoise. So that's a little bit, meh. And I think my chat just went down because life. Hang on a second, guys. Yep, there it goes. Hasn't blocked me. We were buddies. Yeah. Hello from the West Bank of New Orleans. Hello. Goose. Jim, go buy dinner. Holy shit. Coming in with the huge donation. Yeah, I do have my mods can block anybody they want to, my guy. This is not a chat room for people that are fucking idiots. So, it's not a hurt my feelings thing. It's a contributing to the conversation we're having thing. If you're not going to contribute something that actually is worthy of having a conversation about, I don't want you here. Go over to fucking Grantham if you want to be an idiot. Holy $100. Yeah, freaking Goose, man. Goose is the king. Everybody that's currently in here, give him a thumbs up, like him for that, because he steps up so far. But I'm an idiot. No, but you're a helpful idiot. No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Goose. Do you do any hunting? I do not. And it's mostly because I got into guns very late in life, only in the last 8 years, and I just haven't gone. I would. I'm not opposed to it, so. Goose eggs are good. For the money he's paid me, I'd eat a goose egg. Wait. Oh, we're all idiots, but some more than others. Exactly. Hi everyone. Question: Glock 19 is a good gun to start with. Thinking about getting my first pistol and don't know what's what. Gravity. What I would tell you to do is go to a gun range that rents firearms and try different guns. Grab a 19 and see if it works for you. If not, go to a Smith & Wesson or a CZP-10. You'll find what works for you, man. It's a reliable gun. I can't say it's going to be great for you. Yeah, Goose, man. Goose has been an OG for the longest time, man. Magazine's pretty trash on the links. I need a new one, but recoil's pretty good. Nice. I've had some pretty lively discussions with mods that they just don't ban for any reasons because they're just that cool. Yeah. Renee, how's it going? What's at the top corner? That is a 2011 with a signal launcher attached to it. Where am I getting dinner now? Probably like Papa John's after the stream. Oh, never thought of that. No, trust me, dude. It's the answer I like to give because I don't want to give you bad info, my friend. I want you to find what you're comfortable with, and that's a great way to do it. Cheers. Hey, what's up, Clyde? Good afternoon, sir. Is Brasso safe on barrels? As long as you don't just let it sit on it. I mean, I really don't recommend cleaning a barrel with anything other than just a regular gun cleaner, like gun scrubber or something like that. And you don't want to use like brass brushes or strong metal brushes, heavy metal brushes. Have I shot an FN Reflex? Yes, they're fine. They run okay. Papa John's is a great last minute choice. Thank you, Renee. What's the lever action? That is a non-firing replica of a Winchester Model 1886. We had Pizza Hut today. It was pretty good, actually. I haven't had Pizza Hut in a while. I really like their crusts. Their crusts are pretty solid. It's very best advice, Joe, for choosing a gun. I mean, it's the best way I can think of to do it. Jesus Christ. Okay, I promise I will, Goose. I promise I will get dinner after the live stream. It's only a couple more hours. I promise I will. Thank you so much. You are a king and a scholar. Holy shit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thoughts on the Sky 9mm? So love, if you buy the base CPX 1 or 2, I don't recommend those. They're double action only with terrible triggers. If you get the DVG 1, that is a striker fired variant and it actually has a reasonable trigger. But there are much better guns on the market for the sub $300 range. Are the blue brushes safe? Yes. How often do you clean your gun? Every range trip? Absolutely. Every time I go to the range, I tend to clean my guns just because it's therapeutic. Yeah, no kidding, right, Deccan? Frickin' W Goose. What do you use to clean the guns outside from germs and dirt? I use gun scrubber. It does have acetone, so you have to make sure to clean it and oil the gun right away. But I love gun scrubber. It takes the carbon right off. Same answer I give to people when it comes to handguns, Adrian. For rifle, you got to see what fits your frame, your handling ability. Great, because you may like a lever action, you may like a bolt action, you may like a semi-auto. The best thing to do is put your hands on as many as you can get your hands on. Can't pick up guns, my boy. Have you ever shot a minigun? Nope. I would if I ever got a chance, but I'm not paying the money to shoot one. Although at the Faith and Freedom shoot this year, my buddies from Liberty Arms, they have a Gatling gun. It's a crank one, but they're going to have a Gatling gun at the Faith and Freedom shoot. Have you and Goose ever met? No, we haven't. And I'm pretty sure if we did, I'd have to be the bottom. Funny thing is I use t-shirt strips knotted together as an endless strip to clean rifles. Yeah, that's like making a bore snake. I get that. That works. Goose is actually at 170 tonight, Brady. Plus gifted subs. So he's actually at 180. So I never cleaned the links. I want more guns. Never shot a pistol, though. Nice. Is that a 37mm? You got it. Good eye. Ever shot a Smith & Wesson 4060 Smith & Wesson? I own one. Haven't shot it yet, but I own one. Quick question. Should I get a starter Glock? And if so, what one and what mods to do on it? I don't recommend Glocks to anybody. They're reliable. They're going to work, but and a starter Glock, what is that? They're all the same. See a doctor if you see the man with the MAGA hat? Nope, I didn't. I don't watch the news, so thoughts on Springfield Echelon. I like them. They work well, and they run really well. Oh, no, Brady. Goose doesn't always look for the limelight. Like, he did that in the first 30 seconds of the live tonight. It was crazy. Sideways, what's your favorite pistol? 1911s. I am hearing a... Oh, that's my store phone that's ringing. Gotcha. Is there any safe you would recommend that's reasonably priced? Yes, Winchester safes from Tractor Supply Company. How many guns do you own that you haven't shot yet? In my private collection that I never show anybody, probably like 30 to 40. There's a lot of guns I've purchased just to own without shooting them. Just went shooting a while ago with the DP12. You recommend taking fully apart to clean or scrub the barrels? Seen a complicated YouTube video. It depends on how many shells you put through it, Renee. You might be able to just like use Safari Charlie or one of the like Ballistol and just spray it down. Echelon's a good gun. Yep. I moved to Cali with the Gen 5 Glock. What do I do? Google it. I don't live in Cali, so I can't tell you what to do. I'm sorry. I'm on Australia. Guns are banned. We also have no military because our government sucks. How can I learn to protect myself outside of physically fighting? Emigrate. You have to live here for a few years, and then you can eventually become a United States citizen. Open 24/7 and delivery. What are you talking about? Picked up my first carry, Shield Plus. What do you think? Good gun. The Shield Plus is awesome. But you talk about McManus that doesn't fire his gun. No. I talk about McManus because he has a $200,000 gun that he doesn't fire. Fuck! Jim, when are we going to go fishing? You show up to my place anytime. We'll go. You got to drive tomorrow. My buddy has my truck. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does not recommend Glocks. No problem. Don't worry about it. No problem. McManus doesn't want to break a nail. Lol. Is that a 2011 with a freaking grenade launcher? You betcha. Frickin' yeah, Goose, man. Holy shiz. Everybody liked Goose's donation here. Also, I did not realize I hit pause, so my video hasn't been running for 10 minutes. That's hilarious. Don't try to goad Goose into doing it, man. Those that tell bro another, Brady, you need to get your dad's credit card. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that, Brady. But holy crap. Is that 200? That is 200. That is crazy, bro. Holy goodness, man. Dude, insane. Any sneaky ideas of weapons that aren't weapons? I mean, slingshots, are they banned where you are? Would you ever buy a Barrett, any Model Y? Oh, I want a Barrett M82A1. I want the original style one. It's just they're too expensive. I'm not paying retail for one. They are banned. Oh, shoot. How about actually, it's probably close to a $300,000 pistol. Not when you won't shoot the fucking thing, it's not. You lose $50,000 to $60,000 in value because you won't shoot it. But you have no problem blowing up a Scorpion. Blow up a Singer. See if they'll warranty it. Come on. But thank you for the donation, McManus. Superb. Thank you, sir. That Pack-a-Punch 2011. So there's a short that will be out tomorrow. Basically, it was me and a buddy hanging out in the store today, and I had nothing better to do. So he takes these aluminum shot glasses. Manus, are you challenging me? Hope your night is going well. Mitch, what's up? Are you a real expert or self-proclaimed? I've never claimed to be an expert. I'm an enthusiast. Big difference, my guy. Spell 100%. They're not even in business anymore, I don't think, Lamau. Quack. Yeah, no, Singer. I mean, I think if you sent your gun to a sewing machine company, they might look at you a little weird. Goofy Beans comes in for $2. Can you shoot a 300? Am I proficient with the 300? Yes, but I cannot shoot one on a live stream, my friend. I do apologize. Have I packed one up yet? What, one of my shot glasses? Maybe. But no, I'm going tomorrow to shoot the signal launcher. McManus, if you want me to pop that gun's cherry, just send it to me. Dude, I threatened him. So I'm going to go to where he is and hang out at his house. And I'm going to have one loose round of 45 in my pocket. And I'm going to ND in the middle of his house. Bro's definitely got a hog. A Harley? Nah. Look forward to watching it. Any recommendations for a beginning gun buyer for self-defense? So I can recommend guns that are reliable. Glocks are reliable. CZP-10 is better than Glock. Smith & Wesson, better than Glock. Everything better than Glock. But for you personally, sir, my recommendation is, or madam, is go to a range that will allow you to rent a gun. I went to a range that allowed you to rent a gun for $15 for an hour. Do that. Try a few different guns, because finding a gun for 15 to 50, let's say you try 3 guns, $45. It's still cheaper than buying a gun you hate and losing 50% of your value just to trade it back in. So my recommendation is just try to put your hands on a bunch of different firearms and see what feels comfortable. Self-anointed prophet. Nah, the only I make is, well, from my wonderful freaking donators, freaking donate. I mean, and for those of you that think that I beg for donations, I don't. These dudes just really love me. Also, I'm having Goose's baby, and he needs to support me financially, especially considering the hole it's coming out of. What is a two-barrel gun? The small one in the back. That is a Derringer. It's called the Rohm, ROHM RG 17 and 38 Special. You're like 30th in line, Cody. Yep. You can shoot on Facebook Live. Yes, you can, but not on YouTube. No, you can't shoot any guns on Livestream, my friend. I wish I could, and I appreciate the donation. I really wish I could. I think I have some video of me in Stonehaven shooting my 300 Blackout, so I can put that up. Best to worst, 365 Shield Plus and Hellcat. Shield Plus, 365 Hellcat. Real question, what do you think about Europe not allowing guns like America? I think it's a stupid rule because anybody that's going to cause harm to another human being, animal, etc., they're going to do it regardless of whether or not they have firearms or knives or things like that. In theaters of war, tri-blades and frickin' serrated blades are banned where guns aren't because they're considered heinous when a bullet isn't. So that should tell you everything you need to know. Love the Glock 20. If you got to have the 10 mil, best 15 round 9 millimeter. Well, capacity doesn't matter, dude. Here in the United States, we can put 30 rounders into 10 round guns. So you've got M99 and 416, largest caliber. When can I become a mod? Holy shit, you know what? I'm looking at it, Goose, and I thought I had you as a mod. You are right now, dude. And it's not just because you fucking give a lot of stuff. So, yeah, sorry, Goose. I'm sorry. I thought you were a mod. I didn't even look because it's got your member thing. So, welcome, Goose. Goose knows how to mod. Big Dick McDick is gone. Yes, one of you guys, I'm not going to name him because he didn't give me permission to, but a local guy who watches the live streams came in, traded me a bunch of video game stuff, and we made a good deal, and I traded him Big Dick McDick. That's part of the fun of owning a odds and ends / gun store is my trade openings are way different. An RG Derringer. I have a half dozen 22 wheels from RG. Nice! Favorite gun to shoot, 1911 5-inch, my guy, every day. Love the stream, man. Keep up the good work. I got my guns off of you, off your info. Thank you. Thank you, Deccan. I appreciate that, and I appreciate that. Thank you. No, it should be because he gives a lot of stuff. No, I mean, yes, but no. He's also been here since the frickin' beginning of the live streams. If you guys go all the way back to some of the first live streams, Goose was in here from the very beginning, and I thought I had made him a mod before. But yeah, I'm not going to read too much into it. But yeah, hell yeah, dude. Thank you. How do I fix my accuracy with iron sights? My groupings are always down to the left when I'm aiming center. That's a grip / trigger issue. If you're shooting low, you're either anticipating the shot or you're not holding the gun tight enough. Goose is a great guy and a sponsor. Yeah, I'd call him a sponsor. Holy shit. But so is McManus and Stone. So comment in every video and mod and other gun live streams. Will you consider me as a mod? Scoot, I will. I have a few mods that haven't been here in a long time. I need to go through and see what's up. Talk to me on Monday. We'll see what's going on. But since I just made Goose a mod, I can't have too many. I think it's disingenuous to make like 50 people mods. If I had to pick 2 of those behind you for zombies, I'll just take one, dude. The one up in the top corner. Didn't a company used to test fire those guns before sending them out? If you're talking about the Singer, yeah, all their guns are test fired, but what he means is it hasn't been fired since the factory tried it. Favorite part about the 1911? Always the trigger. A good 1911, even a bad 1911, has a better trigger than any striker fired. What's in the glass case? A non-firing replica of a Winchester Model 1886. Can you follow Alex here, my buddy? Where is Alex? Tell Alex to come in so that I can check him out. How many bullets should you carry for EDC? Depending on the firearm. When I carry a 1911, I usually have a total of 17 rounds. Hold up, I want mod. So there are differing people. Mexican, you've been pretty solid too. But again, I have to go through my current mod list and determine who's going to stay a mod in the upcoming month. Oh, Alex, if you're Goose's buddy and your name is Alex, what's up, man? Yeah, I'll do a shout out for what you donated, dude. Favorite rifle and shotgun chambers. Favorite rifle, 5.56. Favorite shotgun, double aught buck or slug. What's the thing on the top left? That is a 2011 with a signal launcher on it. 37 millimeter thingy-majigger. Alec Martinez, are you the one? What's up, dude? Joking, but thanks. Nice. Do you like Rock Island? Yes, I like their 1911, and their company handles criticism the correct way. I'm looking at you, T-Sauce. I'm not going to call you names, T-Sauce, but you need to get a better grip on what you're doing, T-Sauce, because you're not handling the situation with us well. New York blows, only 10 plus 1. Yeah, I agree. Why, you think that pistol has enough attachments on it? No, I was going to put more bass, but I ran out of 45-degree adapters because it's got the top rail on it. I'm going to put two 45s to make a 90 so I can have an offset hand grip because I don't want to put my hand too close to where the barrel is shooting. So I'm going to put an extended frickin' grip on it. You have arrived. Yes, you have, sir. What do you recommend to get for the handgun slide to make it easier to rack? There are different things you can do. Vickers Tactical, Tango Down, they make attachments for the back of slides that can make them easier to rack. Glock 17 or 19? They're the same gun. I appreciate you answering my questions. Not a problem, dude. Congratulations on the promotion. He deserves it. Thoughts on Springfield Echelon and Hellcat Pro? I like the Echelon. I'm not a huge fan of the Hellcats just because they're a small frame gun, but overall they shoot well. McManus, could you send me a picture of it in Discord or post it in the Discord? I would like to see it. I thought he did already. Hey, buddy, what's your opinion about Sarchimal's SAR 9? There's one up there right now. I just got that one today, actually. I traded a bunch of used magazines for a SAR 9. But yeah, the guns are fine. They're Glock 17 size, but they have an HK style removable grips lower. They shoot well. I wish they had a better sight on them from the factory. I wish they had like fiber optics right out of the box, but other than that, they're pretty solid. Would you feel comfortable carrying a snub nose revolver 6-shot, no reloads for EDC? Yes, because if you look at statistics and averages and whatnot, the average self-defense shooting, unless you're getting into a shootout, is 3 to 5 rounds. What's the name of all the pistols behind you? Oh, we've done that bit before. That's a sweet zombie scrambler. Thank you. Thoughts on HK USP match? I'd love to have one. Is that a Makarov? Is what a Makarov? Alex comes in with a $20 frickin' donation. Holy shit. Tonight is crazy for you guys. Thank you guys so much. And for those of you that are donating, I don't know how to respond. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I'll see if I can dig one up, man. It's in a safe deposit box. Which bank? What's your code? I need the key. What's the next gun you're looking to acquire? I'm still trying to find a DWX optics cut through a distributor. I will not pay retail for that gun. You've carried a Model 36 with no more ammo. Exactly. Honk, honk, quack, quack. Thank you so much, Alex. I really appreciate that so much. Is that the Glock? The guy who used to print guns? He's a big YouTube. You talking about Booligan Shooting Sports? What's the total dono number tonight? I have no clue. I think it's in the millions. You guys have donated millions today. It's up there. Just between Goose and McManus, we're over $300. So you guys are freaking amazing. Thank you so much. In 6 weeks, I'm going to buy a churro. Is that the Glock? Thoughts on bolt-action rifles? Should I consider semi-auto collecting and range? No, if you're just looking for collection and range guns, a bolt-action is 100% viable. It's even viable for hunting, things like that. There's no reason not to have a bolt. I have both bolt, lever, and semi-auto, so I have inclusive the three, not just both. What type of permit do you need to own a machine gun? You need a fully transferable machine gun to start, and then you need a Class 3 license. It's only $200, but it's usually the cost of the firearm itself that's ridiculous. How many rounds are used in a shootout? Depending. That's a variable. I would probably say, like, if I was going to be involved in a shootout, I would hope it would only last a couple of mags. Don't spend it all in the same place, lol. I will. Dude, all your money is going towards doing stupid shit. So, like, paying my bills and buying dinner. You don't need a Class 3 license for a transferable machine gun. You need to pay the tax stamp for it. And then he comes in with 5 more gifted memberships. Daniel, Deccan, Militant, Roop, and Roy Rogers. Frickin' DB isn't here. Susu got another membership and not DB. So Class 3, when I say Class 3 license, guys, I mean you need the federal tax stamp. So when I say Class 3, it's because I'm a Class 3, I used to handle Class 3 transfers. So when I say Class 3, I mean you need the United States federal tax stamp. So I apologize. That was my fault for saying it in the way I did. Is Beretta 92 a good pistol? Absolutely. Do you have hands on an MPT 76? What's your thoughts? I've never put my hands on one. I'll give you $3,000 for the small gun. Sorry, can't make deals on sales. Saw DWX 2195 beans full size optics cut. Yeah, the problem is as a distributor, I can get it for under 18. So I'm not going to pay an extra $400 just because I want a gun. Wow, someone is kind. Yeah, that's Goose, man. Best gun to start off rifle-wise. Hard for me to answer that question, Goofy. I've said it a bunch of times. I'll say it every time anybody asks me. You need to put your hands on a bunch of different firearms to see what you comfortably can handle. Like me being a larger guy, I like full-size, large stocks, things like that, adjustable stocks that can be adjusted out. You may like something in a youth model. You might be 4'2". You might be a midget, a hobbit, a dwarf. Who knows? You know, you got to see what you can do. Hey, I'm a member now. Yes, you are. You got a free one. Is dual wielding 22s viable? If it's high capacity and you're going for accuracy by volume, yes. Can you transfer me an M1919 Browning? In terms of transfer, do you mean can I do the transfer? Yes. As soon as I get all my licenses in place. Because the M1919 Browning was the auto one, if I'm not mistaken. Untitled Goose is quite giving. Yeah, he's a supporter, always has been of the channel. On that rifle question, any buy once, cry once recommendation? Knights, Christensen Arms. Yeah, there's a few different ones. What do you think of the MP carry comp? It looks cool. I haven't shot one. Goose, you're getting thanked by Deccan. I've joined the stream late, so I don't know much about the questions you answered, but what is your favorite animal to hunt? Never been hunting, and I wouldn't hunt for sport, so I don't know if I'd say favorite. But if I was to be a hunter, I would probably hunt both like winged game, dove, pheasant, whatever, and then I would probably shoot deer for food. I seen Rapper video. He had his gun in a secret compartment when he got in a shootout in the interstate. He couldn't get out of the compartment fast enough, and he got gunned down. Yeah, that's a difficult thing. Like, do you want to put your gun in your glove compartment so it's out of the way, or do you want to have it available? I'd rather have mine available. Cody, re-ups for another. Hey, how you doing, brother? How do gifted members work? It's the exact same thing as if you had just donated the money, but it also enables other people to become members of the channel. So I wish I had the same Regal as America in Germany. Same firearms, that would be nice. Is a Hellcat Pro worth it? Any gun is worth it if you like the gun. Do I have any bows? I actually have a child's compound bow out in my store. Am I any good with shooting skeet? No. I did it once. I hit the first 2 times in a row, and then I never hit another target. Am I a 5.7 fan? Yeah, I can mess with the 5.7. I've had a bunch of them. I have the T-Sauce currently. Randomly picks how many you picked and gives them a membership for a month, Goose. Stone and I messed with it a while ago. Yep. SOCOM 16 CQB is my pocket carry. You got some big pockets. You wearing Jinkos? Hello, Nicholas. Dove is all dark meat like duck. Quail is white meat like chicken. Thank you for telling me. I love duck. I actually really do like duck, so I think I would enjoy dove. Also, they're the symbol of love, and I'm a lonely bitch. Available at all times. Nice. Worst gun pistol-wise? It shows the least amount of personality to own a Glock. How about that? I kind of want to see the new Snow White movie just because all the shite it's getting. That's always a good reason. What's your favorite handgun and your favorite AR-15? I don't like to answer those questions over and over, my friend. 1911, and I have a custom AR. Do you dehumidify that room? This is a climate-controlled room. It has central heating and air, and it is dehumidified. What's my opinion on the 590 Shockwave? I'm for it. Since the brace ban got overturned, you can actually get the SBAs and put them on there. So I had one with a pistol grip and a brace for a long time. Hey, Frank, what's up, dude? Long time. You're still making 45 ACP kits for Mauser. Did not know that. That's cool. Best 5.7 that isn't FN, should have worded that better. Best 5.7 that isn't FN, I'd probably go with the Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7 for its overall feature set you get for the money, but I like the way the Ruger feels in the hand better. First AR upgrade. Usually trigger. Get like a CMC trigger, that or the bolt carrier group, or your charging handle. You'd rather much open carry an M1. Do you, brother? Not much, Frank. What's going on with you? I appreciate it very much. Thank you for answering. I barely joined the stream, and again, I do appreciate you having the consideration. No problem, Ricardo. Like I said, it's one of those things. I'm not being mean to you directly. I hope you don't anticipate as that. It's just, if I start answering, I'm not saying you're being repetitive, but if I answer then it devolves into a lot of people asking me, and I'd rather have complicated questions. If that makes sense, I'd like you to complicate the question if you wouldn't mind. If it's not too much. It's really weird that I do that one. Do we go for another chat? Lol. What if I have a Glock, but only because I bought all the handguns I wanted, but I had a spot to fill in the safe, so I found a cheap used gun, used Gen 5 that was purple. Dude, I don't fault you for owning a Glock. I fault people that say Glocks are the best pistol in the world. They are not. Any gun that I can hold like this and get it to stovepipe, or hold like this and get it to stovepipe because I'm limp wristing it, that's not a good gun. P22, any good for self-defense? Any gun, if you train with it, could be good for self-defense. I don't recommend a 22 for self-defense, but you can get the job done if you can put enough rounds on target. Thoughts on Smith & Wesson in general? Decent company, decent guns. I don't get into the politics of companies. That's like somebody put a comment on the Gerson today, supporting companies that support terrorism. You know what? Shut the fuck up. If a company does something stupid, I'm not supporting the company. I'm supporting the gun store and the distributor, because the company already got the money. The goose is dry for now. Dude, Goose, what you just did tonight is freaking insane, dude. Don't donate ever again, man. You don't have to. You've been amazing, bro. The last time somebody gave me that kind of money, I had to throw up on command. No, dude, you are goated for all time in the halls of the Jiminy Show. Can you buy incendiary ammo for pistols? It's hard to. There are requirements that you have to meet. I love my Rock. Rock is decent. I sold mine because a buddy of mine really wanted it for somebody he knows. I leave a Glock in my car. I leave a Glock in my Rari. What's the mini pistol called that's below the ray gun looking ass weapon? The mini pistol? Which mini pistol? If you're talking about the little Derringer, that's a ROM RG-17. Walther PDP is where it's at. I just hate the size of the slide. It just looks so awkward. The guns shoot great. I agree, they're a great shooting gun. They just look weird. Cheapest reliable place to get ammo. Where do you get yours? Well, I'm a firearms dealer, so I have distributors, but Ammo Seek is where I would tell you. Do you own any FN? If not, why? I sold my FNX. I don't carry FN personally. I don't like the 5 Series. Their polymer is shite, and they're just overpriced pistols. Is that a G3C? No, it's actually the G3X. It's got the full-size grip with the short slide. I'm just messing around. I was the guy asking about the Prodigy the other day. I purchased it to put on my carry rotation, but now I've heard a bunch of whiners saying it isn't for carry. You can carry whatever the hell you want, dude. Don't listen to them haters. Carry a double stack. I've done it plenty of times. Is that a pepper gun? Which one? You're deathly after my heart. Only because I heard it beating the other day and it sounded like a marimba. The puke stream was awesome. Screw you guys. The Dartic pistol was really spacey looking. Yeah, the Dartic pistol is interesting. For those of you that don't know, it was a gun where you opened it. It's a revolver, but it also has an internal box mag. You load in these triangular rounds that hold the bullets themselves, and as you cycle it, shoot it, it would cycle the rounds up. Very interesting. if that's the Dartic I'm thinking of. If I'm talking about the right Dartic. If not, let me know. Keep up the good work, buddy. Brandon, thank you very much for the donation. Like I said, you guys don't have to keep doing that. You guys are amazing. I don't want to sound like I'm pandering to you guys, but honestly, 100%. I love you guys for donating. You don't have to. Just liking the stream and just hanging out it gives me just as much of a chub as you guys donating. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Anybody that does, anybody that doesn't, if you like the stream. But thank you so much, Brandon. I will keep up the good work. People will always have an opinion. Don't pay much to mind to it. I keep my Desert Eagle in rotation. I just carried it today. That's still crazy in my opinion. No, I'm just kidding. That's just strong, man. You're strunk. Is it hard to get a silencer in California? Yes, considering you can't have threaded barrels in California. It's impossible. Is a Glock 18 worth it? Considering you can't own one in the United States? No. I meant to say 40 millimeter beanbag launcher for self-defense is amazing. You should connect the Goose with some ammo distributes. You send me an email, Goose. I got you covered, bro. Will slide wear affect my gun performance? My M&P slide started to wear. Not external wear, but if you're having missing material on the inside, it could cause some issues with lockup, like where the edge of the ejection port locks up against the chamber. If you're starting to notice missing material there, that could be cause for concern because you could have some other fundamental issues with the gun, bad recoil spring, things like that. But if you're just talking about the exterior finish coming off, no, it's not going to do anything. If you can carry it and it's comfortable, go for it. I agree. John, yes, I do. Corey, Glock 43X or 26? Neither, but even if you do go with one of them, they're both Glocks, so who cares? Which one do I think is better, the PTR or the H&K? I would go with the PTR. They're built to the same level of quality, in my opinion, and they're a lot cheaper. You are correct. The Dartic used the T rounds. Okay, so I was just going off the top of my memory about that one. Thoughts on the Browning High Power? Love it. Had a few of them. Sold my last one to Stone. Is 40 Smith & Wesson still relevant? Yes. It's not as popular as it used to be, but there is still a strong market for 40 caliber handguns. Sorry, I messed up the G3 question. I meant you. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to misunderstand it, my guy. I know you're not big into rifles, but if you can own any like new belt fed, what would it be? Oh, I would have like an M249 Bravo. What's the procedure when trading guns at a gun shop? So the standard for trading in guns at a gun shop is you need a valid ID. It also bypasses concealed carry requirements, like in the state of Virginia. If you trade in a firearm to buy another firearm, like a handgun for another handgun, you don't need your concealed carry if you've already bought more than one gun that month. Don't put a laser on a Glock. Don't put a laser on anything. Flashlights before lasers all day long. Shout out to whoever gave the gifted. That would have been my boy Goose. Goose did a bunch of them, dude. Go out and earn $100, dude. Start a YouTube channel. Hey, look at that. McManus finally nutted up and became a member. Hey, Murky, what's up? I'm good. Goose. Goose is out. Thank you so much, Goose. Send me an email to the Jiminy Show and tell me what calibers you're looking for. I'll hook you the fuck up. Are there specific firearm drops where people line up in front of a store to get the special edition? Not kind of really, because we know well in advance of what we can get. So if somebody wants a gun that I can order, yeah, but there's the release dates of firearms vary. So if a company like Sportsman's Warehouse, Bud's Gun Shops and shit, they go to every gun show where manufacturers set up booths and they'll buy directly from the manufacturers, so they'll have their guns before I can get them through my distributors. So it's not like an Apple iPod or an Nvidia thing. Had to turn on my freaking computer to fix this. Thank you, dude. So it's not like that. So, but I have had people wait for an in-stock gun. What, like if I told them, you're a gold star, you have been a member. Yeah. Goose. Which 5.7 pistol do you prefer? I actually really like the Smith & Wesson 5.7. Goose, have a great night, dude. You gifted McManus' last membership. Yeah, that's what I meant, McManus. You've been a member before, but you were always gifted it the last time, I thought. You got a Glock? No, there's not a Glock on my wall. Bro, you type on Muzz live stream. What? Oh, Muzzle Broke. Yes, I was on Muzzle Broke, Smirky. Have you? Yeah, when we were talking about about whether or not he could do gun giveaways on his channel. Yes, that was me, Murky. Have you seen the new Daewoo rifles being released later this year? Thoughts? I've messed with the original Daewoo. The new ones look fine. I think they're too expensive for what they are, but it's cool throwback stuff. But it's going to have the same problem that when they re-released the Gen 1 or Gen 2 Glock 17s in the Tupperware, they didn't sell as many as they were planning on just because I don't think the real demand is there. Do I use attorneys on retainer? I used to. But I just have good lawyers that I know of through my family. Entry-level AR recommendations: Diamondback or Radical? What's better, Smith & Wesson or CZ? CZ. Smith & Wesson is a close behind, but I'd still go CZ before I went Smith & Wesson. Please, you got any thoughts on carry insurance or attorney retention? So, if you live in an area where the odds of you getting into a confrontation are exceedingly high, then I do recommend like lawyers on retention or something like that. I don't believe in carry insurance because the rules that they use, like USCCA, fuck them. They will abandon you in a heartbeat if they can't win the case and show it on their numbers. 85% of our clients walk free. Screw you, you sons of bitches. You're taking people's money and not defending them. But attorneys on retention, or the best thing that I recommend to people is in the area you live, find a 2A lawyer and ask them what they would charge to be put on retainer. It's probably going to be the same cost yearly as a company like Attorneys on Retainer because you're basically giving an attorney free money. I only first used a Glock since it was issued to me. Glocks, I see you there. Yep. So you did. We talked for a minute, Murky. So, as I've said, I'm not walking back what I said about Glock. Glocks are mediocre at best. They have great marketing. They're trash guns. If you like it, that's fine. But if you tell me Glocks are the best pistols in the world, you have drunk the juice. Speaking of which, oh, you're living in Virginia? Yes, I am. Did your parents want you to marry a Korean girl? No. In fact, I hate Asian women. And I'm Korean. Sorry. My mom was a terrible example of an Asian woman. And my sister is just as bad. So, nope. Honestly, give me a fine-looking, dark-skinned black lady. She'll rip me a new one, but she won't break my shit. Are most CZ metal frames? Actually, no. It's kind of gone the other way now. So the P09 Nocturne, the P07, and the P10 are all polymer frame. The only ones that are currently on the market that are metal frame are the P01, SP01, and the CZ75s. Have I ever been to Korea? Once in a uterus. So I was born in 1979 in Korea, off base, and I stayed there until 1980 because I had a deformed leg when I was born, and I have never been back. And I have no desire to go because the city I was born in, Busan, is so developed now that it doesn't even make sense to go because it doesn't look even close to the same. You're getting a G2C. What do you think? The guns are fine. I trust them as long as I shoot them first. Make sure to fire a lot of rounds through yours. Take it to the range, fire a couple of hundred rounds through, and make sure that the gun is cycling correctly because a couple of hundred rounds will put you past the break-in as well as let you know if there were any quality control issues with the gun. Nice 43X. I have a 43. Well, you can buy that 43X through Wind City Armory, my gun store. It's on there. Do you like finger grooves? I'm fine with them. My hands are a little bit big, so I don't always match on finger grooves. So, best AR-15 for beginner. Diamondback or Radical? What's the cowboy-looking gun behind you? Is it single action? Yes, that is a Taylor's & Company. Taylor & Company is 3 blocks away from me. They do great-looking replica firearms. That one uses Pieta parts, and it's color case hardened. If Glocks are mediocre, what manufacturers are better buys? CZ with their P10s. Any Canic, honestly, is better than a Glock. Outside of their penchant for firing on their own, Glocks, SIGs are better build quality. So. Most of my Glocks have replaced internals and sights. So if you're going to invest money into it, they do become somewhat reasonable guns, but they're already too expensive. If a Glock 19 Gen 5 was $300, like a dagger, even though they're Gen 3, but if a Glock was $300, I'd have a lot less to say about it. Have you made a plan for dinner yet? Oh, I'm going to get a pizza after I'm done here. They're open till 1 o'clock. No Batman's better. Iron Man, bro. I prefer the 9mm cartridge in the G2C. I just think it's a smaller package and it's not as well sprung as a G3C. Trying to get my first gun, I was thinking about a PSA Dagger. Opinion: it's a Gen 3 Glock, so it does what it does, man. Desert Eagle 50AE, what are your thoughts? I had one. It shot fun. My buddies loved to shoot it, but they never wanted to pay for the ammo. Thank you for liking the guns. It's the lightest AR without breaking the bank. Most standard ARs, unless you're going with something with a poly body, they're all going to be in the 5.5 to 7 pound range. So, how can I get an FFL license if I'm not living in the USA? You can't. Not for an FFL. For a US FFL, you have to be a US citizen in the United States. Have I tried the 2K11? You're on the fence. I have not, but check out PewView and Honest Outlaws videos on them. They really seem to like the gun. And for $2,500 versus $4,500, I think that gives it a lot of leniency. What do you think about the Hell Pup? I really don't. Would 22 do the job? If you have enough rounds on target, absolutely. You got 120 for dinner and you're going to get a pizza. What about tomorrow? Dude, you know how much it costs to Uber Eats a pizza? It's going to be like $70 plus tip. It's going to be $130. I need more money. He turned his money to smarts in practice. Iron Man is smarter. Peter Luger's in New York City for beefsteak. I am in Virginia. I can't get good New York stuff. Opinion on the 2011. I like the 2011s. They're a good platform. What do you think about the Help Up? Stop typing in all caps. I already answered. I don't like them. You have the 365 Micro X? Nope, I do not. I sold my 50 AE because it's not practical. It's a good reason, Scoot. What's your opinion on Glock with the switch? Well, switches are illegal, so for legal reasons, I don't mess with them. Iron Man made his stuff in-house, Batman doesn't. Yep. Batman's a bitch. Iron Man does not buy his equipment, my guy. Wow, you got banned for sticking to crazy opinions. Are mini Draco or regular Dracos cool? Are they worth it? No! Dracos are the epitome of gangster shit, and the people that own Dracos don't know how to shoot them correctly. And I will die on that hill, but not from somebody holding a Draco because they can't hit shit. Edwin, what's up, dude? Don't be gay, get a Beretta. But you're sticking a hard thing in a hole. How's that gay? Would I trust my life to a Ruger RXM? I don't trust my life to any gun I haven't put a lot of rounds through, so off the bat, no. Omaha Steaks will FedEx. So Batman is better with no equipment because he has all the martial arts training. But Iron Man would never let himself be in a position where he can't do shit. What about a Draco with the brace? That doesn't make any sense. If you're going to have a Draco with the brace, just get an AK. AKs are already inaccurate. Why would you give it a shorter barrel? How reliable is a 43X MOS? As reliable as anything is. And if you type in caps again, you're gone, son. Typing in caps is not how you get me to answer your question. Just bought an HKP 2000. What do you think about them? They're interesting. I prefer the P30 and the VP9. Draco with the brace is an AK-74. Meh. Yeah, 16-inch AK with no stock. Then that is a home screw build. That's what I think. Batman could throw COVID-filled batarang since COVID started from bats. Interesting. Hands down, Iron Man all the way. Thank you. I don't know if there's something I like about them. It's fine. If you like the gun, that's great. But I don't. So you asked my opinion. That is my opinion. It's only my opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Everybody uses them. And they usually stink. So trust yourself. If you like it, then you're good. I had to tweak my RXM, but I trust enough to carry after several hundred rounds. Make sure you check the barrel and ejector. Agreed. Like I said, a couple of hundred rounds will get through any break-in period a gun might have, as well as help you really learn how the gun shoots. It's cope, but I like something about it. It's fine. I have Marcia Arch training, and I am an expert in the Judy chop. Lol. How much money do you invest in your whole gun collection? I don't even try to figure it out, my guy, because I don't even know how many guns I own. Michael Keaton is the best Batman. Agreed. I purchased a Canik TP9SA, and I think it's such a wonderful piece of work. Good gun? Yep. Ever see the guy shooting the Draco drum and never hits a target? Yeah, I've seen a few different videos like that. No gun guy ever thinks about how much they have in the collection. The only time we ever think about how much we have in the collection is when we have to tell a significant other what we paid for the collection. And since I don't have to worry about that, I don't think about it. Why is comparison always 509 and 19X and not the same gun and there's like 10 better pistols? Because people love the internet, McManus, and those are the popular guns. Which is richer, Wayne or RoboCop? RoboCop doesn't have money, although he has the whole city backing him. Batman has a secret identity. Iron Man does not. He used to. Up until the movies, he always had a secret identity. How often do you oil your guns? Pretty much anytime I take them to the range. I like that. Must be nice. Lol. I like cranks too. Something like about compact guns. Nothing wrong with that. Honestly, SPAS 12s are overrated. Yeah, they don't even have that good a trigger, but hey, they're an interesting gun. When you have to tell your significant other, double. Yep. Yeah, also make sure you tell your significant other, never sell the guns for what I told you I paid for them. Just subscribe to your channel is dope. Thank you. Why are 2011s and 9mm mostly? Because 2011s come from the world of STI, and STI was a race gun manufacturer. So when they started producing 2011s, they decided to predominantly do them in 9mm. And 9mm is cheaper to shoot, so somebody is more likely to spend more money on a gun if they don't have to spend $1 billion on ammo. Mommy and Daddy died. I'm going to be an angry beta spending Daddy's money my whole life and cry about it. Batman probably. Lol. Freaking Alfred's like, stop spending my money, sir. Mega Man. Thoughts on Caltech KSG? I don't like bullpup anything. Bretta 92 versus 226. 226 all day long. How do you like the Gerson 2011X? So far, I really like it. I got to shoot it, and with my recoil mitigation system that I have attached to it, it should shoot fine. In worst case scenario, I'll add the aluminum shot glass. What do you think about M249? I've never shot one, so is it better to oil your guns before you go to the range? So I buy a gun, I take it apart, I examine it, make sure there's no weird anything going on with it, and I oil the gun. So all my guns are oiled the minute I buy them. Didn't know that. Thanks, dude. You're welcome, Pat. You should put the STI on the wall. I will as soon as I think about it. I may not really love guns, but I think the 1911 tops my list. Is just the gun I know best. $50 to buy a single action, sold it for $500. Nice. Asking what you have invested in guns, like asking what you have invested in cars or shoes for women. Yeah, and I get that, but you'll also notice I don't do like a yearly, here's my collection bullshit video. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not on YouTube to be a YouTuber. I'm not an influencer. Even though I do get review stuff, I give honest reviews and shit. So I'm not an influencer. I'm not a YouTuber. So I have no reason to show off my collection. If you want to know what guns were mine over the years, go back to the beginning of the gun videos, which was in October of 2017. Any video that I don't say I borrowed the gun is a gun I've owned throughout the years. That's the best I can give you. And I'm sorry. That's the honest answer. Was being in that trash can movie. I've got a great idea. Which one? Get Carter? My wife actually eggs me on when I want something. Oh, that's the best kind of enabler. Some guns come with dry lube. Yeah, I don't like dry lube. Does it actually shoot, though? Which one? The launch? Yes. What's your favorite gun? A 1911. FN Reflex. Any good? They're fine for carry. I don't really care for the gun myself. They're too small. You can pick the corn out of your... hey, Sasquatch, you're telling some really shitty facts. Should I get a life card because it can fit my wallet? No. You should get one because you need it for self-protection and a really slow reload. This is a really hot question for what I've seen. What's your opinion on the Kung Fu grip? If you haven't held it, do you think it looks good? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll have to look it up someday. Getting T&E samples qualifies you as both a YouTuber and a gunfluencer. Just saying. Negative. It makes me a review channel. I'm a content creator. If I send you $500 for the 43X, can I have it? I'm in Dallas. That's not how you buy a gun. Go to Wind City Armory where I have it listed, and you and I can speak at some point later on. And I'm not selling it for $500. I think 1911 would be his favorite. Pretty much, just got my license. What's a good starter gun? Whatever you can comfortably shoot, my guy. You need to go and figure that out. Put a bunch of different guns in your hand. See what fits your hand best. Reliable guns are Glock, Smith & Wesson, CZ, Canik. But you need to actually spend some time with a bunch of guns. Yo, bro, I saw your vid 6 years ago when you said you overclock an i5. I want to ask if I could overclock mine as well because I also have an i5. You need a Z75 or a Z77 motherboard, but yes, if you have a stock Dell or some other thing like that? No. Bro, is that a grenade launcher? That is a signal launcher. Wink, wink. It's a 37 millimeter signal launcher. Wink, wink. But yes, it does fire from aluminum shot glasses. Content creator, aka YouTuber. No, I don't make enough money to call it that. If I'm below the poverty level for my income from the job, it's not a thing. Just yeah, I'm not even answering all caps questions. It's a very vertical angle AR grip. Some people like it, some don't. Interesting. Waiting for 2 years to get the can of Gravel S. Now they are everywhere, all around me now. Yeah, that's because production is way up. Are Canics better than FN? They're equal in quality and a lot less price. So yes. Have I ever shot a mechanic gun? I've shot a machine gun. Easiest gun to fix a firing pin. Usually a 1911. Literally, you just push in the end of the firing pin, drop the rear plate, firing pin comes out, firing pin goes in, you push the plate back up. Done. Thanks for the response. You're welcome. Wait, I shouldn't overclock? No, you need a Z75 or a Z77 motherboard. If you have one of those models, then you can overclock the CPU. If you have a stock H61 or a Dell motherboard or a stock like pre-built system, it doesn't allow for overclocking because the BIOS doesn't have the feature set for it. You need a Z or 75 or 77. When will you run for mayor? I will never get into politics because I would be on a platform that nobody would endorse. How much for the Pink Girl 43X? I believe it's up on my website for like $5.50. You're an influencer, at least that's what the gun says. No, I'm a Match X, is what the gun says. Hey, what's up, Canadian man? Wait, whoa. This got real serious. Batman sucks. Lol. So gas station cashiers aren't gas station cashiers because of the money they make? No, that's an actual job. But they also applied for that job. I didn't have to fill out an application. I applied for monetization, but I didn't have to go through an interview process. You can't just walk into a random gas station, start selling gas, and call yourself a clerk. That's a big difference. What is even going on? We're just being stupid, and it's fun because there's 150 of you motherfathers watching, and I'm here for it. All you motherfathers watching, you're here for free. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the comments, type in something that is relevant to our nonsensical conversations we're having tonight, motherfathers. That doesn't make gas station cashiers get paid. They do, but they have to fill out a application. When did you build your PC? I rebuild my PC probably 7 to 10 times a year. So if you're referring to my current build, I just built it 3 days ago. Ruger P85 Mark II was the best gun I had in my hands. Nice. Well, there you go. Being a YouTuber is an actual job if you make a living at it. Now, I could be a lot bigger than I am if I wanted to be a social media whore and frickin' do this like 24/7. I could make a much better living being a gun tuber. I could go out to the range every day and shoot shit tons of rounds and put up 10 videos on every gun. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for reviews, for honest talking with you motherfathers. You want me to become Honest Outlaw, Pewview, and all these sons of bitches that have to be out there and dedicating this as their career? I will. But then I'm going to turn into one of those fucking e-beggars. Oh, help me out on Patreon. Help me buy this, buy that, buy this, do that. I don't want to be that kind of guy. The minute I make it an official job, I'm not going to do it anymore. No, I literally just sent my bank account information and said I want to be monetized. That's not really an application. Wait, you're not a social media whore either? Go to my X and see the last time I posted there is, and go to fucking Discord. See the last time I posted on Discord. I am not a social media whore. Dude, is that a pistol with a grenade launcher on it? Yeah, it is, my guy. That's why I prefer your opinion on stuff. And that's why I give it. And that's also why I don't take as much shit for review as people think. My email is full of companies that make holsters and lights and freaking optics. I did a run where I took like 4 different companies, CV Life, Siley, and a few companies that I knew of that were worth taking a look at. But since then, I haven't done any because I don't want to. Red drink. I like my Romanian SKS. Nice. Red 40 straight from the bottle. It is it has red 40 in it, but it's a sugar-free one, so I'm good with that. Drop 'em. I cannot stand those people who say, give me $5 to support XYZ thing, and then people do support and the dude doesn't do his XYZ thing. And that's the reason why I stopped doing giveaways, because number one, 3 of the companies I worked with wouldn't send the item that I had given away, so I literally wound up buying 2 safes and a trigger out of my own money. But number 2 is it's disingenuous to try to grow a channel by offering giveaways. There are channels that will do that shit. There are channels that I know of right now that have 8,000 subs, but they're giving away $1,000 gifts, trying to buy members and shit. That's disingenuous. I don't like that stuff. But yes, the people that will say, hey, if you do this, I'll do this, and then they back out, that's horseshit. Like the people that signed up for a hoodie and then I wound up not getting hoodies made because I couldn't get them done at the price I said I would. I felt terrible about that shit. People that bought the shirts got their shirts though. What's the rifle in the case? That's a non-firing replica of a Winchester 1886. Mountain Man, what's up, dude? To be fair, he does XYZ thing. He's eating some wild shit on stream. That's the other thing. I freaking told you guys if you paid for it, I'd get a Glock tattoo and keep it for 2 years. I'm honoring that, even though one of the people involved was a piece of shit. I've worn fake boobs. I've worn a maid's outfit. I've worn a bikini. So I do whatever you guys ask me for. Yeah, it's a non-firing replica of an 1886, my guys. Mountain Man, PT99. I've never shot the 99 variant, but I've shot all the PT92s, and I think they're all pretty sweet. I have a court hearing for my pistol permit in New York. Any advice on questions they might ask? I honestly don't. I don't know what their questions are, but just be honest. Don't make jokes, and be sincere. Thoughts on Bond Arms? They're very expensive for what they manufacture. It seems to be good quality, but I wish they would produce a lot faster. He won't eat the fish. I won't eat the fish because nobody's paid me the money for it yet. I refuse to eat that shit for free. I'm making a pot roast and it smells really good. Be jealous. I had a grilled chicken salad for lunch. What's a good concealed carry that has great stopping power? Great stopping power is like having good aim. So the better you aim, the better the gun is at stopping people. Kind of bitched out on that one. No. I did forget it, but I'm glad I forgot it because none of you motherfathers wanted to pay for me to eat it anyways. And then we ate the duck, the century egg. Stone made me want to gag my ass out. That doesn't sound right. If you watch One Punch Man, Batman is just a tough guy with a bat. Lol. Thought an AR-15 with an undermount shotgun was the most unwise shotgun addition. Could be. But in 1911, 2011 with the under-barrel signal launcher is just chef's kiss. Damn, I'm sorry. You're fine. Opinion on Daniel Defense. Overpriced, but decent. Goose just donated like $300 for you to eat the fish. No, don't put donations in categories for other people, motherfucker. $1,000, I'll eat the fish. I will open the can for 500. I will stand next to the can for 100. There you go. 980. Well, because he's donating through fucking YouTube, his donation is only $14. We pretty sure. No, you didn't. You paid to name a dog I haven't gotten yet, but that's not my fault. My health has been fucking with me. Don't have a favorite caliber. I like guns. Too late. I donated for it before you set the bar. No, it didn't show up until I had already said $1,000. You didn't say it didn't count through YouTube. It counts through YouTube, but it's 30% less effective through YouTube because YouTube takes 30%. If YouTube wants to come over to my house and eat it with me, they can eat 30% of it, and then it counts. Bond Arms is in my hometown of Granbury, Texas. Awesome. I would take a Geisley Super Duty over a DDM4. They're both pretty good. Roll it back, get the clip. Dude, it's a VOD on demand. You're good. It's a VOD. You can just look at any time. If you could go into Bass Pro and pick any gun, what would it be? Probably the security guards. That's the one that's loaded. Can I illegally attach a vertical forward grip to my nade launcher? If it's a 37 millimeter, yes, because that's not a firearm. If it's 40 mic, I have no clue. What kind of fishing are we talking to here? Surströmming. Which one do you prefer? 1911? Yes. So long as it's a newer production Geisley after they fixed the bendy boy rails. Nice. What's the best Glock? No such thing. They're all exactly the same. The YouTuber is trying to back out, Stone. What YouTuber? Honestly, you've been on as many lives as I have, McManus. At this point, if you're calling me a YouTuber, you're a YouTuber. What beats 6X carry at the price? Canic, Smith & Wesson M&P, CZP-10. What cal is the gut buster on there? It is a 37 millimeter. Can you show me your pistol? Sorry, bro. Maddie, if you took him down because he was spamming, I get it. Otherwise, it wasn't a bad question. I'm not denying it. Yeah. What's my favorite non 1911 45? Probably the FNX 45. You're a towel. Ha! What you carry? 1911 5-inch. You're literally looking at pistols. No, you're looking at pistols. I'm not. Unless somebody said that. Boom, boom, boom. And okay, then we're both YouTubers. No, you're a YouTuber. I'm not. You like Springfield Echelon? Yes, I do. Just got the Zev Technologies AR-15. Any thoughts on the quality? Zev makes decent stuff, and it's not super overpriced. It's a quality, decent one. It's cool. You're not gay? That's just what a gay guy would say. Thanks for answering my question. I'll see you. No problem, Mr. Morales, or Mrs. Morales. I've not shot the ported Canic, but the TTI Combat and Rival S I'm super impressed with. Yeah, I haven't messed with the MC9 Prime either. I think it would be a good one when it comes out. I'm happy! Well, I'm happy you're happy. Thoughts on AK FRT kits? Get one if you want one. I just think they're a waste of money because ammo is expensive. None of us want to deal with that question anymore. Lol. Lol, that was funny. Yeah. What was the opinion on the FNX 45? FNX is the last generation of FN that I approve of, and they still manufacture the FNX, or at least all the distributors still have them. So FNX, FNH, FNS, FNP. Those are it. The minute it's got a 5 in the name, it's an inferior polymer, and all you're doing is buying a hand grenade. You might as well put an Olight on there so that when the handguard snaps off or the pick rail snaps off the gun, the light can explode. Am I a hunter? No. I'm not opposed to it. What's the Derringer? That is a ROM RG17 38 special 2-shot. Pretty slow learner. My name is blue means I can just ban you. Lol. Ha! What will you carry? M&P all day. I don't willingly carry any Glock. I won't. I don't care for them. I own them because I get to bitch about them because I own them, but I don't know. I would love to try a 454 Casull. That would be fun. I can shoot that out of my 460 Smith & Wesson. That's what I heard, Stone. So 500 just to open it, then another 500 next week to eat it. No. 500 is to open it, $1,000 is to eat it. So $1,500. You get one experience where I just open it and I have to sit next to it, and then it's $1,000 if I eat it. You can't make up my mind for me. It's him! That just sounds like a threat. Man, the FNX Tactical is one of the first pistols from the fact that it came with a red dot or have red dot mount. Is it? That's interesting. You have a 454 Casull revolver. Nice. Is that Derringer Remington 44 rimfire? I heard you say it's a ROM. Nope, it's RHOM ROM, and it's called the RG17 and 38 Special. Oh, I gotta buzz this shit down. My beard is so freaking itchy. Not sorry, bastard. Not at all. Lol. Yeah, and the FNX is of better quality, and you know it because you own one, McManus. What kind of fish are we talking about? Sir Strumman, I've seen a 10mm FN blow up on video. I willingly carry Glock, never had an MP. I always want to prefer Glocks. Yeah. Had an MP misfire out of the box. Why? Quality control. Anything made by man can be screwed up by a dude. Do I like the MP carry comp? Or did you just call my beard a bad one? It is terrible. I agree. I'm half Asian. The fact that I have this much facial hair is a fucking miracle. I haven't spent any time with the carry comp, so I can't say I like it, but I like the M&P line. 500 and 1,000 to eat it after a month of it being open. I mean, couldn't it get any worse after a month, Stone? Honestly, Dude, you mailed it to me. It had expanded from the heat it was in. It's been in my fridge since you sent it to me. It shrank. You back anything M&P. Nice. What company that makes AR uppers would you recommend? Bravo Company, Knights, LMT, any of them. I own all of them, Law, and I definitely say the FNX is far superior quality. Yep. Yeah, the optics mounting system is quality because that's the part that sits on the metal part. No, I meant that fish dude. Gotcha. Long before time had a name. Right? Half Asian. My wife is full Asian. How much shit has she thrown at you? Thought about an FPC when it dropped on 10 millimeter, but I don't know. I like them. 500,000 after a month of open. 100%. You'll get evicted for opening. Oh, I'm not opening it inside. I'm opening it outside, dude. $1,000 and it eats it without opening it? Yes. If you want me to just open it, take a piece and eat it, it's $1,000. If you want me to open it and have it next to me during the live, that's $500. But then I don't have to eat it. I owned FNX. And look, I'm trying to give you stupid prices so that you don't ask me to do it. I don't regret mine. Yeah, no, I don't. I've had several of them. I just never hold anything. Do you have a Korean name too, or just an American? No, I have a Korean name. Believe it or not, it's my grandmother gave it to me. It's actually general. It's Jungwon Hyun. So Jungwon is Korean for general, or Jungwon, and that's what my Korean grandmother gave me. So, and my last name in Korea is Hyun. So Jungwon Hyun. Sorry, the beard looks good, but must suck with it being it. Oh, it does, because I hang out with my buddy and I'm allergic to his cats. I'm allergic to cat dander. So then I start itching and then it creates a flatter, itchy. Sorry, I just heard the word flat. Flat top AR upper is my favorite. Yeah, me too. I don't think they exist, Sean. I'm pretty sure you're right about that. What, Koreans? She's throwing all kinds of stuff at me. Yep. Andy knows what I'm talking about. If any of you have a full Asian parent, especially a female, dude, Asian women, when they're full Asian, I'm not talking about you, Stone, when they're full freaking Asian, my mom broke so many dishes, pots, pans, windows, anytime she got pissed. Yerp! That's probably why I throw guns, to be honest with you. Why M&P and not Walther or Canik? Canik had, when it first started, didn't have this super best reliability with their firing pins and stuff. Walther's just overpriced. What do you think, Stone? I bet we can get 500 and get him to open it on stream now. We get a bonus, and we get a bonus puke stream. If I puke, you owe me $100 extra. Optics cuts on pistols from the factory. Gotcha. Yeah, that is true. Budget AR brands worth the darn. Diamondback and Radical. I do throw guns. I threw a $2,000 CZ downrange. I've thrown $1,000 2011s downrange. I hooked a $700 Rock Island 1911 at the target and hit it. Love Korean food. I do. I just don't like the preparers. You need a ballistic shield. Pretty much. Question for all. You can only choose one gun brand for everything you need from knife to carry to home defense. One brand. Colt. I don't know. They make all kinds of shit, I guess. I don't know. I just know that was the first one I remembered. I did not start seeing optics ready slides on any pistols. FN5 defected polymer. So DDP, my speculation, and it's been my opinion even before Kentucky Ballistics 510 exploded. I've said from the minute I first put my hand on a 5 Series gun that it had inferior polymer because it was much less dense and it isn't as strongly reinforced as like a Glock frame is. I've also said that the fact that they went to a shittier polymer as well as kept the price the same and raised it just means they were going for a cash grab. FN knows they are. You'll never get anybody from their company to admit it, but they did. The same way Staccato did their shit. I'd have to look because there was a few pistols in that development period, but I'm pretty sure you're correct. Yeah, I have no idea. Throwing stuff is ingrained. Ha! I'm inbred. Wait. My wife's Indonesian. Batman versus Iron Man. Who wins? Iron Man. If they both get to prepare, Iron Man. You should totally do it next Friday. You've got to do it at the beginning of the live. Oh, and I got to do a live stream after eating the shitty fish. You suck. Look up FN 10mm suppressed polymer in the recoil spring area snapped off. Not only that, it was actually the whole front of the trigger guard, but it did not snap where the locking block is, which is why it still fired. But you never threw a court. I threw a $2,000 CZ Orange. If I had a court, if you want to volunteer your court, I'll throw that son of a bitch. Yo, are you high on life and this ketamine I found? Just kidding, I don't do drugs. You know, outside of the ones I have to take on a regular basis to keep myself from dying. I think I go Smith only because I do back then and put many rounds through most of my AR pistols and carry Smith blades at my height. There you go. Iron Man will suck on a batarang. Not if he's wearing his armor. How's a batarang getting through? Batarangs are just made out of metal. No eating, just opening next to you on live. Outside, yes, but not for the whole live. Most I've seen on here. I once had like 300 people in here, but that's pretty close. My question is why price jump for the Scar 17s? They used to be like 2K, but now they're 3K. Because the internet, my friend. The minute Call of Duty and any of those games makes a gun interesting and expensive, and the audience for those games has finally turned the age of consent to buy firearms, companies are taking the money that people are willing to pay. Thoughts on the Galil? The Galil is fine. It's expensive, and it doesn't do anything super special in my opinion. Looking to build an AR pistol for Missouri pistol deer season. Recommendations on caliber. 300 blackout. I got a doctor in Cali that prescribes ketamine. Interesting. No way, Jose. Not my $5,000 court. Hey, you asked if I would throw one. I will willingly throw one. Tell you what, sell it to me for $100 and then I'll throw it and I'll sell it back to you for nothing. Changing the rules now. You can't keep moving the goalpost. I can do whatever I want. It's now $5,000 for me to eat it. Open it, put it in your fridge. It's not going to make it. Dude, that is horrible, Stone. I'm going to open it and leave it behind your house next time I come down. Why is my ass itchy? You want a cheap but good Scar clone, get the Panzer Arms. Do you live in Texas? No, Virginia. Nobody makes a fully auto 12 gauge because they're not legal. Second the vote for 300 blackout. There you go. I live in Colorado, so I woke via to buy an AR without paying extra for safety class. According to Jared Poles, is it a privilege to have detachable magazines? Yeah, Colorado sucks. SD9VE 2.0, is it a good gun? Yes, generally it's very similar to the 1.0. It just has a better trigger. My leg, my back, my wussy and my crack. The other funny thing is how Call of Duty on some guns can't use the appropriate name, and those of us who know the appropriate name of the gun will address it as such, and everybody else is like, what the hell is that? Yep, pretty much. Allergy season. I'm just wearing a shirt that I took straight out of the dryer, and I think it got... no, actually, I have no idea why I'm itchy. I'm itchy because I'm overheating. Any gun that you're going to carry for defense, you should be willing to toss, because when the cops show up, they will want that piece on the ground away from you. I mean, no, cops aren't going to make you drop a firearm. Cops know that it's not safe to drop guns. They will have you gently set it down on the ground. But you should never carry something you're not willing to get rid of. Is that a pistol with a grenade launcher? Yes, it is. I had a guy say it's not a Desert Eagle, it's a 50 GS. How is that like a desert? I don't know. That's weird. Michael Kalashnikov. Ah, yes, the U.S. cousin to Mikhail. Gotta be so uncomfortable to shoot Bluetooth. It might be. I don't know. I put it on for shits and grins, and I'm going to shoot it tomorrow. What was Afghanistan like? I have no idea. Never been. I'm not in the military. Desert Eagle makes different caliber handguns. Yes, they do. They do 357, 44, 50 AE, and 429 Desert Eagle. Those are the most common ones. I don't know if they do anything other. So I got a Mosin because of playing stuff like Tarkov when in high school and college. Oh, yeah. I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to that regard. Security 9 Series, the last original design Ruger will come out with. Personally not impressed with yet another clone with the RXM. Probably. Not safe to drop a 320. Well, is that a USA 12? No, that is a Keltec KS7. It's the actual real one, not the Turkish-built shit. Let me know. I definitely will. There will be a video on it. Are BG uppers any good? I can't get a complete 7.5-inch 5.56 with both. With BCG, if you're talking about Bear Creek for $208, are you talking about Bear Creek? Balashnikov. Nice. Do you like more, 357 or 44 mag? I don't have a preference. I'm back. Had to switch to my computer. Your commuter? Your commuter vehicle. Gotcha. Favorite holographic sight? I don't like holographic sights. I like pure red dots. What do you think about POF? Way too much money for the Tombstone, but it's a cool gun. Lever Action 9. I've seen them. I'm not a fan. Best preferred gun for appendix carry. I don't appendix carry, so I have no opinion for you. Probably like a CDP-01. 15 to 20 pound gun with all the bells and whistles, or a 6 pound plain AR-15 with irons. If you had to pick one, which would you pick for a shit hits the fan rifle that doesn't leave your side? If I really need a shit hits the fan gun, I'm going to suffer through the extra weight to have features. They do a 429. Yeah, I did say that. 429 Desert Eagle. You're actually quick for somebody that's on YouTube. Don't worry, dude. I'm not one of those guys. I am a very quick-witted motherfather. I made a life for myself as a kid that was 2.5 years younger than everybody in my grade, 3 years usually. I had to defend myself with my wits and my fists, and I would usually fight with my penis out. 429 is 50 cartridge and neck down to 44. Nice. Not Bear Creek. It's BG right on Bear's website. But it's on Bear. I don't know if I trust BG because I don't have any experience with it. Where can you buy a complete polymer AR? A dumpster, because you should not buy one. Why not holographic? I don't like the way they move. I prefer a fixed red dot on the glass. I don't like to have things that are capable of moving with my vision. AR-15 all day long. What do you think of the Super Wrangler? It's pretty cool. I haven't messed with one, though. I'm back. What are we up to? 163 viewers. Limit file, now just seeing that monstrosity on the top left. What? Yeah. Wait, what? If 10mm was the only caliber, what would you EDC? A Colt Delta Elite. Hello, what is your favorite drink? Whatever's in this bottle. It might be Coke, it might be ketamine, it might be fentanyl with a little bit of the career. Water. AR style shotgun. No, thank you. Smith & Wesson makes a polymer AR. It's in 22. Lol. Actually, yeah, they do. I was going to say, who's the other one? It's made by Umarex. Oh, yeah, the MP5. Flip carries Glock 20s for Grizzlies. There you go. Favorite emotional support gun? My 1911. My para-ordnance. I sleep with it. I've named her Sydney, and she is my lover. And 5 inches is about right. I love my Super Wrangler. It's a hella accurate. Nice. Delta Elite, good choice. You said if I had to carry a 10mm, that's what I go with. Carry your good gun and a yeet cannon. In case you have to use the good gun, you hand over the yeet cannon. Yeah, that's going to match ballistics. Did I tell you? I've told this story before. I had the not the yeet cannon, but I had just the standard 9mm. And I took it out shooting the day we shot the Barrett, and I threw it in the box. I threw it in the back of my car. Without realizing it, I threw it in the trash in my office and couldn't find it, and somebody had broken into my car, so I assumed it was lost. So I had to go to the sheriff's department and filed a stolen gun on the High Point. And I'm sitting in there with the guy, and he's like, "What kind of gun was it?" And I said, "It's a High Point." He's like, "What?" I said, "It's a High Point." He's like, what did you say? It's a High Point. He said, "Why do you have a High Point?" I said, "Because I'm a reviewer. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not an influencer, despite what McManus says, even though this was years ago." And he laughed at me. Mossbergs are polymer ARs, I believe. Yeah, the 416 or whatever they are, yeah. 5 inches is a bit big, no? Only if it's in the width. I wouldn't, Sean. That's a terrible gun. Lol. And in 45. Hey, man, I like a 45 with the 5-inch barrel, man. I'm very capable with it because that's what I shoot. G3 and G3C on the back wall. Nope, G3 and G3X. It's got the full-size G3 grip with the short barrel. You should Cerakote her pink. I tried, but they scream when the Cerakote hits their body because I do hot Cerakotes. Terrible lower. The upper is fine for what it is. Lol. You have, so have you won every game of Flash Roulette? No. I'm sure it was terrible, but that's the only one worth a damn. I would never buy poly ARs. I would never buy poly ARs either. 5 inches all you'll ever need. Anything else is just semantics. I think you meant anything bigger is... You good, man? You look tired. I'm always tired, dude. And I normally only go 3 hours, but who knows? We'll see how popular you motherfuckers are tonight. Every one of you, hit the like button. I bet you won't, pussies. Come on. I'm just fucking with you. All you people, when you hit the like button, you help me grow the channel by showing YouTube that they can trust me. So do me a big favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, all that fun stuff for me, kids. There's only one thing worse than reporting a high point and stolen and having to tell them it wasn't. Oh, yeah, I had to call them back because I said, hey, I found it. And they're like, really? Where? I said, I threw it out and didn't realize it. Why did he laugh at you? What happened next? I wound up finding it 3 months later because it was in an office that I never used, and I found it in the trash when I went to throw everything away. You've been going off tonight. I've been all right. He's Asian. They all look tired. Oh, no, we all look suspicious. Oh, what do you talk about, Randai? Levi! Thank you so much for the donation, brother. Appreciate that one. Thought on the 6.5 Creedmoor. It's a good round. I don't shoot a lot of rifle rounds, but it's a good round. If somebody has asked this, but what do you think of the memo SIG put out in regards to the 320? If you could say that a company did a tone-deaf response to a situation that was internet famous, that's what SIG did. SIG they literally took their foot, turned it sideways, shoved it in their mouth, then pooped it out and doubled down with their second memo. Calling people anti-2A because they didn't believe the guns couldn't fire without the trigger being manipulated, that was a bullshiz move, man. Doesn't High Point have a hidden serial number somewhere inside? I don't know. Nobody's ever successfully taken one apart without it exploding. You have a dream car? No, actually, I don't. Well, kind of a lie. I have a car that I would love to have, but it was never put into production. I want the Chrysler ME412. It was a 12-cylinder Ford Turbo supercar. That's racist to round eyes. I'm half white, so I can make fun of anybody. You got to melt it down to see it. Lol. Good shit, dude. Thank you. Anti-2A is throwing away a High Point. Yeah. 6ARC is more DMR type cartridge. 6 Max is assault rifle cartridge that can double as dedicated marksman rifle round. Nice. What was it made for? Stepdad gave me a British 303 and a Mosin Nagant for my birthday. That is cool, dude. Yes, the Chrysler ME4-12. It was a concept car back when Chrysler made some pretty wicked ones. It's basically like a Bugatti Veyron before Bugatti came out. Although, to be fair, they used two 3.5-liter V6s to make theirs. 7mm PRC or 7mm Remington Magnum? I'll sell you either one, man. All right, bedtime night, y'all. Hey, Rockman, thanks for coming back in. Never heard of it? I love it. Did you look it up? It's an amazing-looking car, dude. 7 PRC all day long, but 7 Remington is tried and true classic. Oh, damn, thanks for the history lesson on cars. No worries, my guy. I sold cars for 20 years, so if you want to know about cars, let me know. I can also tell you the best cars to buy are Chrysler and Ford and Chevy. Fuck all them foreign. No, I'm just kidding. My stepdad stole my Kimber for his birthday, lol. Who's poked out to 1,000 yards plus? I've poked out at 1 yard 1,000 times. Looking to buy an FN57. Cool. Go on the websites that are out there. Don't ask to buy one in chat, otherwise you get blocked. Nissan is okay-ish. The problem I have with Nissan is they went to CVTs. CVTs are not long-term creations. The car is sweet. I'm into cars and never knew about this one. Yeah, check it out, dude. I wish they had produced it. They were going to sell it through Neiman Marcus for $500,000 back in the day. Yo, dude, it's next level. I thought Chrysler just made lame Concords and stuff. No, man. When they were on their game when it came to concept cars, they made some of the baddest ones out there. They put a Viper engine in a Dakota once for a concept car. Is that a 10 Foglio AG10? What? Holy shit. Dudes, all y'all that are coming in and spamming part of a word, stop. I'm not going to answer those questions. CVTs are awful. I've had to replace the same transmission twice now. Yeah, CVTs just not made for the long term. What about Tesla? It's an evil man. My dad gave me 25 years ago. So Liberty Arms has had a 303 British that was sent in when they first opened their doors, and nobody ever received it. Nobody ever came to pick it up, and we had no information on who it came from. I can touch 800 consistently. Haven't tried 1,000 yards yet. Yeah, thank you for fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have nowhere to shoot that far. I've seen the Viper Dakota creation. Yeah, it was called the Copperhead, I think. Ultimate Dream Car, 1970 Challenger TA painted in FM3 Panther Pink. That's a good choice. I approve. Yo, McBam, that dude for spamming. Yeah, I think he's gone. Y'all have a good night. Hey, Team Broski, thank you, dude. Leave a comment and a thumbs up, please. Our Henry rifle's good. Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, Chrysler did not care, dude. Like when they did the firepower exclamation mark, they took a Viper frame and put a Hemi in it. They should have built that. You always thought the SRT6 was neat. Interior was not great, though. The reason for that is the Chrysler SRT6 is literally a Mercedes SLK compressor. Literally. It's a Mercedes-Benz SLK. So, yes, Chrysler was doing it before BMW and frickin' Toyota did it. Is that a sniper hooked up to the 2011? That is a blooper. Shoots 37 millimeter shotgun shells. These are just shotgun shells, YouTube. These are not illegal. Dodge? Cadillac? I don't like Cadillac anymore. I had a Dakota with a 318 Camden straight pipe, sick little rig, loaned it to a buddy, and he dicked it. Oh, that sucks. So my dad is replacing the engine in his Ram. He's giving me his old Hemi, which has 250,000 miles on it, so I'm going to rebuild it, put 6.1 parts on it, and just try to blow it up. But I am looking at a 99 quad cab Dakota two-wheel drive manual right now for $1,500 that it might go into. Peacemaker National Training Center has 1,200 yards now. Thanks for the update. Also, like a couple of times a year, they close the internal roads on Peacemaker, and they'll go out to 2 miles. I have shot bears at 1,000 yards. It's so much easier than a lot of people make it out to be. Cool. I prefer Beretta. I think Shadowhawk goes out to 900. Interesting. Do you check out IWA 37 millimeters? I did not. I do need to. I apologize, Militant. If you shoot straight up, you'll have plenty of range. Lol. Okay, MP5. Thinking about to get a drum mag for it. That's a lot of time loading, man. Just get a bunch of the 30-round stick mags. Dude, jump on it. How'd you know there's a dick around me? Just kidding. Dakotas are bulletproof. So the one that I'm going to buy is a two-wheel drive V6, but it's already manual, so I don't have to swap out to a manual setup, and it's a quad cab, or excuse me, a crew cab, so it's a full four-door, and I'm going to turn it into an RT clone. If you remember 99s in the 2000s, they did the RT 59s. I'm going to do an RT 57. How'd you learn so much about cars? I sold cars for 20 years. What's your favorite gun that you have or wish you did? I've had a lot of guns that I would call great. My favorite gun is my grandpa's 1939 Winchester model 1894. I'm not too fond of the newer Dodges. I'll keep my 69 Super B. Dude, I'm kind of leaning towards the new Chargers, especially if they bring back the Hemis for them. Barrel harmonics. Wonder who's thought about that with their rifles. Not me. You daily a 03 cat eye now and she can't quit. 5.3 for the wins. Nice. The Nissan NV 3500? No, I'll pass. You should look up banning ninja sword. Not that I care, but funny as fuck. Hearing, hello, governor. Is that a ninja sword? I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to come with me. That got Australian in a heartbeat. Sorry. I'll be shooting a Shadowhawk next weekend. I'll ask Lynn how far Shadowhawk gets out to. Do that. Let me know. I'm never going there, but that's cool. 6.4 Hemis are some nasty work. Yeah, I got a 21 Challenger Scat Pack. Yeah, the 6.4, 490 horse, I'll take it. But I'm going to do the 6.1 conversion to the 5.7, put the big cam in it, and it'll probably make somewhere like 415, 420 horse when I'm done with it. Saving up for the DWX Compact. Fits nice, well put together. Price-wise seems fair. Love your short on the DWX. Following you as a subscriber. Your voice and presentation style are entertaining. Thank you for that. Oh, sure. I appreciate that. What do you think of a Ruger P89? I love the P series. Plus, it's P. I like the Pen 15, too. Noveski has a pretty wild design on their new barrels. Interesting. I want a nice car. I just don't know enough about them. Just don't believe everybody. Go find cars and sit in them, dude. You'll find something you like. Was there 200? Holy shit. What do you think of Glocks? I don't think of Glocks. Glocks are just meh. Favorite superhero, Iron Man. But I was Iron Man before Iron Man was good Iron Man. Did you know that he used to have a perm, and he used to wear bikini briefs, and he's left-handed? Did you guys know any of that? Did you know Obadiah Stane in the comic books was never his friend? Did you know that? Huh? Huh? Yeah, I'm sorry, it just comes out. Yeah. Are Colt ALs really that close to perfect? Nope. Selective with questions. What do you mean I'm selective with questions? Shut the hell up. I answer everything. You just ask dumb questions. Lol. Left-handed is sus. He's left-handed. And if you actually watch the Iron Man movies, Robert Downey Jr. gives fan service to the fact that he's left-handed, because in every movie where he throws his power punch, left-handed. I got to use trigonometry to find the distance between both your eyes. Well, I need fucking Doppler radar to find the distance between your fucking brain cells. So we're even. Nerd! Hey, bro, I just subscribed. I like how you take time out of your day to talk and reply to us. Hey, man, that's the point of these live streams, man. I want to connect with my audience, and the people that aren't stupid fucks deserve to be talked to. Palmetto just dropped left-handed uppers. Nice! I like left-handed smoke shifters. I love little throwbacks. Yep, feels great to be naturally ambi. So you're saying pansexual is the ultimate way to shoot? Damn, good one, dude. Thank you. Damn it, McManus, you made me look stupid because I spelled it wrong. That's the reason. Have you seen the Elephant motor? Yes, I have. Chrysler has the very worst quality control on any modern model. No. Have you seen the V6s from fucking Chevrolet? Their 3.6, how badly they gum up, or the fact that new Toyota Tundras, their engines are exploding, or the fact that when I used to run a tow truck back in the day, Volkswagens had the best initial quality problems. Chrysler has its fair share of issues, but saying they're the worst, that's just coming from somebody who's drunk the juice. Sell cars for 20 years. You'll find a lot worse cars than Chryslers. My favorite gun is a take-home from World War II is a K98 Mauser that has a scope. Dude, that's amazing. What striker fire pistol is best value? One that falls off the back of the truck that you don't have to do paperwork for. Seem very overweight. Gym memberships are very cheap, you know. Do you think you're funny? That's the last time I'm acknowledging you, though. You had the Viper ACR and you loved it. I've driven a Viper ACR. I've never owned one. I'm too tall for one. I call it both-handed, but that sounds worse. I keep both of my hands on it. I grew up left-handed, still right and use tools left-handed, but I ended up learning to shoot right-handed since most guns operate and eject for your righties. I know people that are lefties. I used to be able to draw lefty until my nerve damage kicked in. Used to be a tow truck driver. I thought you did commercial driving. I never did CDL commercial driving. I had a CDL license so I could transport vehicles for our dealership. Drop one of those motors into a Magnum wagons. That's what I want to do. Yeah, that would be cool. Bristol, Tennessee, Canic all day. There you go. Jeep SRT has its issues, but love the Hemi. The Hemi is the saving grace for Chrysler, and they know it. They knew it. They did it. That's why. I don't like any of the V6 Chryslers. Here's another reason for that, and don't take offense to this if you bought a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder Chrysler product that was available with the Hemi, but people that buy that car, like a Chrysler 300 with the 3.6 or a Jeep with the 3.6, y'all are some fucking hood rats because you dogged the shit out of those cars. People that are willing to drop the money for the Hemi-equipped one, outside of you Hellcat fucktards and the Scat Pack guys that went out and bought Scat Packs at $30,000 over sticker and now you're buried in it, fucking idiots. Most Hemi buyers are much more sophisticated. What, I mean I'm bisexual? Nothing wrong with being bisexual. The right guy makes everybody bisexual. How long did you do flatbed towing for? We owned our own tow truck, so I did it for like 5 years. I believe that's called Fapidextrous. I'm stealing that. That is a great line. Want the car, but cheap on the fuel. Hemi all the way. So I actually don't believe in using cheap fuel, even in a Hemi. They have a good enough compression that 91 will run a Hemi very well. Also, the 6.4 Hemi is recommended for premium unleaded. No cussing, please. You You got it, fucko. Glock retardation. Sure. How long have I been doing YouTube? So I did Vine first, and I moved over to YouTube in 2016, I believe, 2015. But I've been doing gun tube stuff, like the gun tube side of YouTube, since October of 2017. I worked on a 11 or 12 Sebring convertible with a V6, plenty of room for a 5.7. So, and that's the difference. So if you owned a 200 or an Avenger or a Sebring with a V6, that was the equivalent of owning a Hemi in another car, because no motherfucker ever bought a 200 with a V6 except for me, which is proven by my changing the headlight on a 200 with the wrong tools video, where I clearly show that if you actually bought a real version with the V6, there was no room for the headlight bucket that everybody was talking about because the washer bottle blocked it. But all those cheap-ass bitches that bought 4-cylinders because they got financing for $1 down because they were your fucking hood rats who can't afford a car, yeah. Your favorite AR manufacturer? Don't really have one. I build my own customs. Which pistol? Best Canik TP9 Elite or Taurus? Canik. Cheap. Bye-bye motor. Lol. What's the little one on the bottom left of your wall? That is a ROM RG-17 38 caliber Derringer. Super nice to see somebody actually reads the chat and interacts with the chat. I try to interact with all of them unless I get going on a rant and then I miss stuff. I think it's so you guys take the time, right? All 200 of you that are sitting here watching me, a dumbass, talk on the internet, I owe it to you to be able to answer as much shit as I can. I'm not one of those motherfuckers that sits there and goes, I'm only going to answer to super chats. That is a stupid thing to do. That is how you alienate your audience. I could dark side fill this shit right now and be like, if nobody donates $100, I'm not talking to anybody for 20 minutes. And that's just a stupid way to run your channel and your life. That's how you run that shit into the ground. Yeah, I don't have a shit ton of subscribers like I could if I pandered to the YouTube algorithms and stuff. But the 180,000 people that follow me, they are here because they actually are sincere. Can I get a Hoya? Hoya! LQ4 or LS9? LS9, please. One of my favorite tire melters I've had was a 93 LeSabre with the supercharger. Oh, yeah, the 3800. That was Series 1, but the 3800 was nice. Legit, Jiminy is 1 in a million only lives I stick around for. Appreciate that. Thank you, Levi. Caden, what's up? How do you feel about the AD manufactured firearms? The who? FN57. Good guns, overpriced. If NASA had just rehydrate gun, it would be a Glock. Ha! I don't get that. Hey, Jordan. Cup size. I'm actually like almost an A cup. If you look, I don't have tits. I offered to you guys, if you paid $150,000, I was going to get big badonka honker bonkers. But you guys didn't want to pay for it, so A cup. How do you feel about additively manufactured? I don't understand additively. If you could explain additively to me, I'm sorry. Original APX design was better than the A1. I mean, the Toblerone was kind of interesting, but no thanks. How long did I work at the car dealership? So I sold cars from 2000 to 2017. I'm building an 83 C10. I think I can only afford the Elky Fior. Oh, no. If you're looking to do that, LS9 is, $10,000, $12,000 engine. So, yeah, get the Elky 4, dude. What's my most sold gun? Most sold guns are usually Heritage Rough Riders. You will pay. Oh, yeah, sure. Email me. I'm dead nuts serious. I said it, and we actually raised like $800 towards it. If somebody paid for me to get implants, I'd do it just to fuck with you people. I'd be wearing the stupidest shit. I'd wear like a tube top with like cutouts. I don't care. The most exclusive car you sold. Not exclusive, but the most famous person I sold a car to, the CEO of DuPont, bought a 2013, technically 2014 Glacier White Shelby convertible from me. So that was kind of cool. Bought a 2019 Colorado for my wife, solid truck, ZR1, had to give it up as we became pregnant with twins. We both missed that truck. Dude, I would take a Colorado over a Ranger or a Tacoma any day. Boom, 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 boom. What do you think of the C8 Corvette versus C7? Do you hate the fact they went mid-engine? I don't hate that they went mid-engine. I just don't think the design aesthetic is as cohesive as they think it is. The ass is too big on them. Like Ferrari 430, Scuderias, 488s, they all have a much better design idiom to them. They look more cohesive. But my favorite is actually the C6 ZR1. Heard women love Sosa and guns without serial numbers. Lol. For real, for real. Lightning or SRT-10? SRT-10 quad cab with the automatic. I want to get 8 miles to the gallon all the time. Are all my mods fucking gone? I see how it is. Where the fuck is Zaxxon? What do you think about 3D printed firearms? I don't. All the mods are gone. They all left me. Oh, I'm still here. Oh, good. I thought I was all alone. You were mopping. Or were you moping? I had an 01 Lightning. It was my favorite vehicle I ever owned. The Lightning is fine, but it's just, you can build all the different stuff. Not for you. Oh, Sosa's not for me. Can you actually 3D print a gun and use it? You need still metal insert parts. You need other firearm parts to make one work, but I don't recommend it because they're never good. That makes you a moperator. Ah! Mods are fapping. They might be fapping to each other on Discord, which is interesting. You are never alone. I'm not alone. How good was the commission on selling a car? It varied. I made the most money off of selling a Ford Astrovan because of the way I sold it and the trades I took and the fact that I sold it as a trade-in. I think on an Astrovan, I made, or not the Astrovan, you know what I mean, the Ford Aerostar. I sold a Ford Aerostar and I made $5,000 off the fucking thing. Mauser, C96. My buddy Drunk Mouse has one. I just think the 3D community is getting large, and I don't have nothing against you. I mean, 3D printing is your thing. Oh, no. If you do it, that's fine. I just don't trust it. I'm sorry. Not yet. Someone I know drinks like that. Me? Start your own dealer, dude. You have experience. I don't want to invest the money into starting that as well. I'm an FFL already. You ever notice how most gun guys, meaning guys who actually work on and put together their own guns, are car guys? I think I'm probably the only exception to the rule. Don't know much about cars. No, that's not true. There are plenty of people that don't like to build their own guns. Honest Outlaw on YouTube doesn't build his own guns. Freaking PewView doesn't build his own guns. He puts in triggers every now and then, but like custom stuff, and ARs and stuff, like Honest Outlaw doesn't build his own ARs. He has all his guns built. Just put a 2-10 Hawkeye scope on my standard M1A. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what that is, but I hope it works well for you. If I have a bunch of friends over to my birthday and they have some questionable rifles, pistols, can I get in trouble for bringing them together? So when it comes to definition of questionable, if your buddies have illegal firearms on your property, you become responsible for what they do with them. So keep that in mind. I'm part of the you are a part of the 3D printing community. Like, metal at home will be revolutionary. When that actually gets figured out, that will change a lot of things in the world. I thought car salesman made bank. I did. So when I was working at the Ford dealership, I was consistently 6 figures, 150, 170,000. But you also put in a shit ton of hours. So my first summer selling cars, in 2000, I'd never sold a car before. My first year, I made $92,000 as a 18-year-old kid. Excuse me, I was 20 at the time, almost 21. I don't think you are a wheel gun guy, but I'm liking the 357. I'm not a huge wheel gun guy. I've got a few, but nothing that I think is cool. I got 2000 Cargo Asher van. It's my work van. If you could shoot the Vortex V6 with the 12 gauge and it wouldn't phase it, well, I just think it's kind of cool. It's not for me either. I've looked into it. I'm legal, but always have been interested in it. I'm not clear about the law, so I haven't touched it. Gotcha. What state you live in? Virginia. Follow up. Does questionable firearms that are caught up, does it only matter on the property owner? So you have to like search your state for what you're doing, but as far as I understand it, you're responsible for what any guest to your domicile does, especially if you're talking about firearms, drugs, alcohol, anything like that. If somebody gets hurt on your property, dies on your property, or does something illegal on your property, you as the property owner are responsible for what happens on your property. EDC 1911. Sosa is starting to smell like a Fed. Lol. What's the gun on the top left? It looks like a 2011. That is the Gerson 2311 Match X. It is a 2011, and it does have a 37 millimeter launcher underneath it. God, I love you. You've always been a great source. Thank you again. You're welcome, Sandy, man. What solvent and lubricant do you recommend for semi-auto handguns? I use Gun Scrubber, which does have acetone to get it off right away, and I use Wilson Combat Lubes. Dude, we got 180 viewers right now. Yeah, that's freaking impressive. I'm happy. But where the hell did Stone and McManus go, the fucking bitches? Yo, dude, yo, how do you like it? I haven't shot it yet. I just got it yesterday. We will see. Obviously, I'm going to screw around and shoot it with the launcher on the bottom of it, but I'll also be giving it a fair chance. I had horrible reliability with the Gerson I bought. Sorry to hear that, man. Gerson typically for me has been pretty solid. Anything hand built or built by man can be screwed up by man. Chicken burgers or burgers? Breaded chicken burgers with just ketchup, but burgers for favorite burgers. Favorite all-time gun platform is 1911s. McManus and Stone just up and left for some damn reason. What? I'm busy over here. I'm working. Dude, don't scare me like that. I thought you guys got banned or some shit, and I thought I banned you. The Wild launcher attached. Hey, can you make a video on it? Yeah, so I am making a video. I have also the standalone launcher, but I'm going to make a video with me shooting the launcher. Just unlocked the house. Dude, you're not supposed to announce when you're burglarizing. Subcompact pistols you recommend. You have a Glock 26. So in terms of reliability, things like the Canik Meta MC9, some people say the FN Reflex, the Smith & Wesson Shield, the Hellcat Pros. Why didn't you open your own car lot? Because getting licensing and buying inventory is ridiculous if you want a good one. I could have been a shitty like corner lot, $500 down, bad credit kind of dealership, but I didn't want to do that. I'd want to be higher end, like toy box stuff, and that's super expensive. AXG Legion is a great gun. Yeah, it's expensive though. You're talking well over a K. Is that an Olight under the tube? No, that is actually a Surefire Scout Light. If you want to fix your eyes, give up sugar. Thank me later. You have no idea what you're talking about. But yeah, you do you, bud. It was server reset in last war. Gotcha. I'm in California, by the way, so it has to be on roster. That sucks. Try, he's Asian. He just looks like that. No, people think they're funny. It was a 9mm 1911 Commander, and it would either have a problem extracting or ejecting. Magazines didn't matter. Recoil didn't spring. Neither did ammo. That sounds more like it was an actual problem with the gun. Sorry to hear that, dude. Hey, Edwin. Have a good night. Love the show. Good night. Yeah, we're going in about 15 minutes, too. Hello. How you doing tonight? We're doing pretty good, Texas gal. What's up? Imagine putting a grenade on a grenade launcher. Ha! That would be funny. So, you just splash water on the Olight, detach it, and throw it. You have like 10 seconds. Sugar guy is dumb. Love the truth there. Lol. Nice. Mittens, what's up? Hope it's all is well with everyone. Make sure to hit that like. Sorry. What did I just burp? Oh, I had ravioli. New here. Favorite prize piece. 1911s, any of them. 100% worth it. I'll say it's pricey, but one of the best guns I've ever shot. Sweet. About to buy a Mini 14 for $400. I know it's not as modular, but for $400. No, that's a good deal, Shobado. Shubidoo. Planning to move to Montana next year. Good choice. Good state. Are scrambled eggs fried chickens? They're boneless chickens. A face only a mother can love. Why are you announcing to people that your mother doesn't love you? Am I going to sell shirts? I did that once. If I do sell shirts again like this one, I'm going to have them all made before I sell them. What the hell is that in the top left? It's a 2011 with a grenade launcher. Have you never seen one? Montana is full. Try Wyoming. Yeah, ask for SFR when you go there. I was asking if it was an light on the tube so I could say that you had a flamethrower. Ah, gotcha. McManus called it when he said it was a grenade under the grenade launcher. You don't gotta watch, brother. Why are you hating? Oh, he's just somebody who thinks he's funny. Don't acknowledge. Zaxxon, you fucker. Why'd you take so long to get here? It's Bentley Continental GT3 R okay. It's an amazing car, but I've never driven one because it's super expensive. Favorite subcompact? Don't have one. Not a big fan of people, and the gun laws are a little easier. Nice. Texas says best state ever. Which is Betty for defense. Whatever gun you train with, my guy. You could have the world's nicest 45, but if you don't train with it, you're going to suck and die. So train with whatever you got, and that becomes the most effective, my friend. Love the content. Any thoughts on CZ Shadows? Worth the money? Yes, they're definitely worth the money. Great triggers, great guns, good build quality. And at about $1,000, I mean, when you compare them to a 1911 for about $1,000, they have better features. And that's coming from a 1911 lover. Kind of different seeing a single action revolver on the wall. Looks good, though. Yeah, it's because I've been showcasing a lot of the guns that are for sale on my store, Wind City Armory, so through my FFL, and that's one that's available for sale. The Gerson with the launcher is not, though. Face only mother could love. Go look in a mirror, dude. Nah, it's fine. What are your thoughts on the M&P Shield? I like it. Good guns. Zaxxon's working. Shut up. Nobody's working. Nobody works. It's $750. What are you doing out there? The exception to the rule is a high point. Some people love high points. Any Glocks? Got 5 of them. They just don't go on the wall because they don't deserve to be there. Does that grenade launcher have a flashlight? Yes. It's got a Surefire scout light on the bottom of it. Yeet Cannon, best gun ever made. Best name ever picked. I'd try New Hampshire, one of the quietest states I've been to, and really good gun laws. Lol. They're looking into 2A Sanctuary in Missouri. Website to your store, windcityarmory.com. Last question, would you say it's worth it to train with the dummy rounds where it simulates a jam? Yes, absolutely I would. Because, then you're not wasting your time racking out a live round. But yes, I would, if you take a friend to the range, have them load the mags with the dummy rounds so you have no clue where they're in there, though. That's even better. The Gerson isn't for sale yet. Dude, you've got my Night Stalker, you've got my TSO, you've got my 226, you've got my High Power, you've got my Spectre Comp, you've got my other you've got Buck has my other 320, you've got my fucking everything guns. So you've got enough. I love you. I run 24/7, Joe. Is that a bullpup 12 gauge behind you? Yep. He's got my Hudson. Yep, he's got my Hudson. Yeah, that's a KS7 from Caltech. It's not my lie, but I would say yes, it teaches you how to clear malfunctions, and that's always a plus. Yep. IDK, I'll subscribe. Do it then. Do it. You won't. Me and my brother do stoppage drills with the spent casings and a load mag. There you go. Yeah, any kind of practice is practice, my guy. It's weird how they say your. Yep, my. Plus that 2011 with the launcher on the wall looks good too, whether it's for sale or not. Lol. Yeah, that's going to be a funny video. If there's any recoil with that gun, that's my fault. But don't tempt me. I'll mount it to the SAR Shimal SAR 9 and do the same thing. Anything with the full-length dust cover, I can do it too. Do you sell DVDs? And if so, do you have Under Siege 2? I'd have to go through the DVDs. I mostly have Blu-rays. I don't know if I have it out there. If I do, I'll send you an email, Roy. That's an interesting question. And welcome. Oh, my neck is killing me. On the 4th, I get my neck cut open, so that'll be interesting. Can we see the Glocks? No, they don't deserve to be on camera. Also, I can't hold guns on live stream, so I'd have to hold them. Ooh, what all you got? Go to Wind City Armory and check it out. Another great thing about Granbury is that it is a 2A sanctuary. 98 out of 104 counties in Virginia are actually 2A sanctuaries. Love the content. Definitely got a sub from me, but I got to go. I'll catch you around. Thanks, Sosa. I appreciate that. Come back. We're here 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Sometimes I go 3 hours. Sometimes I crash out. My health is never that good, so, Pink gun is the Glock. Yeah, but that's for sale. It's not my favorite one. Did the Jennings sell? Yes, actually, one of my other viewers came in, traded me a bunch of video game stuff. We made a good deal. So, Big Dick McDick is gone. No, you cannot, tactical black guy. Back in 2019, a guy domed himself with a shotgun on a live stream, and his body was on stream for 40 minutes until they canceled the live stream. So since then, it is no longer, you cannot manipulate, hold, or transport firearms on live streams. If I were to pick up a gun right now, the live stream would instantly end. Any thought on Rock Island 1911s? Definitely for entry level 1911s are definitely worth taking a look at. I feel they have better quality than the T-Sauce by far. Gerson is probably close second to Rock Island in my opinion. Geez, what the fuck? Yeah, so dude, people used to do crazy shit. This guy started alive sitting on his couch, picked up a shotgun, and did what he Cobained himself. Pray for your surgery. Thank you, because they are cutting into the back of the neck right here. So it's right next to my spine. So I hope that I don't sneeze. Did that Tanfoglio sell? Nope, I've still got it. And it's Tanfoglio, so, but you were close. Glad to see somebody finally figured out the proper weapon to mount an M2032. It's actually the 37 millimeter variant, but thank you. Thoughts on RIA's direct competitor in the Philippines, Metro Arms? I mean, they manufacture. It's kind of like all the Turkish stuff competing with each other. They basically use the same kind of people to build them. That's not racism. I'm just saying they use the same manufacturing and people to do it, so they're about the same. I need to get out of Marxist Michigan and move to Montana until I can do it. Wish me luck. Good luck, Mitten. Bull Armory 1911s for under $900 is a steal. Yes, agreed. What do I think of Canics? Canics are great. They have great triggers. They have lots of different variations, sizes, and functions, so definitely. Ouch, they come in front of mine to put metal in my 6th and 7th. So I have a collapsed C6, C7, but I also have a subcutaneous cyst that's right on my spine. So when it fills up, I have to drain it. But so we're just going to cut it out because I'm getting tired of that. But it can cause so much pain when it fills up that I can't do anything. Stay the heck out of Montana. No, go to Montana. Tell them that McManus sent you. Watch the Rapper Mall 3 video. It's not graphic. You see how many mistakes he made under pressure. Dude, it's the same mistakes a lot of them do. I've probably seen something similar to it. But yeah, storing in your glove box for, like, if you're in an area where you might need it is stupid. If you ever roll up on me, know that mine is on the side of my center console by the passenger seat, so I can literally reach over, pull out, and go to work. Use a crazy straw to drain it. Dude, when it pops every now and then, it's fucking gross because keratin comes out because it's a subcutaneous cyst. My cannon kept jamming, but after 150 round, it worked great. It's an awesome gun for $500. Yeah, once you get it through the break-in period, absolutely. What's the best 357 mag? In my opinion, Ruger GP100. The 2011 looks like you set it up. You got it, Josh. Me and my ADHD. Trust me, I was going to do more stupid shit to it, but I ran out of parts. Taurus 942 22 mag. Is that a decent pistol? I don't know. I've never shot one. Probably. It's probably fine. He stopped in the freaking the interstate, got out of the car, ran around to the passenger door. That is stupid. Yeah, he should have just driven through the danger. Recommendations on a drop-in barrel for Remington 700. No clue, Matt. Maybe somebody here in the comments will know. McManus! Somebody has a rifle question, although that's an SFR question. Where the fuck is SFR? I need an Uzi that takes CO2 and batteries, Joe. Hey, give me another hour and I'll be all over it, bro. What do you think about a 22 Magnum Little Badger? Go for it. 22 Magnum is very serviceable as self-defense, if that's the reason why you want one. What's the most violent situation you witnessed? I watched a Dodge Ram drive into the back of a construction vehicle at 80 miles an hour and completely destroy the car. I wouldn't call that like violent person on person, but it was the worst car accident I've ever seen. It literally just freaking destroyed the Ram. Some dude wants a drop-in barrel for a Remington 700 in 222. Damn, dude, it's 11 p.m. I'm tired, but I want to stay and watch you decide if I sleep tonight. I'm getting off in a few minutes too, Pat, so I only go 3 hours. Do you podcast? First time checking you out. I don't do podcasts, but I do 3 live streams a week: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not an influencer. I'm just a content creator. Why would any white man not in an Eastern European war front ever have an Uzi? No, the Ram driver did not, dude. It was on. If you guys know Virginia, they were doing the expansions on 66 out near Manassas. I was leaving work, and this Ram literally did not stop at all. Slammed into the back of one of the paving machines. Literally, there was nothing left of the cab. Dude died instantly, or at least I hope he did. Patriot, what's up? Home defense 12 gauge shell, number 4 buckshot or double aught. If you're gonna go buckshot, just go double aught. Okay, I'll just stay till you stop then. Thanks. Yeah, so sometimes I stay a few minutes late. We got a lot of people in here right now, so I may stay late. So we'll see what happens. You guys have to tell me if you want me to stay on a little bit later. I'm very tired. I'm in a lot of pain, and I'm a whiny little bitch. So keep that in mind before you answer. Should I keep staying on a little bit later? I want to see those likes go up if I'm going to stay. You want to listen to the little bitch? I'm a little bitch, so if you want me to stay on, you have to say something. Whoa, 150 plus like. What happened here? Honestly, we just had fun conversations tonight, Roy. You're a gem, my guy. Thank you. If you're tired and in pain, go take care of yourself. Thank you, Mac, dude. CZ Scorpion, nearest competitor for the price. Strybog, A9, A3. Good day. Are you a Swifty? Expect that Sailor Twiff? No, I'm good. We are all on the inside. If you promise to eat the fish, you can go. Not until you pay me, motherfucker. Your health is important. Thank you. I appreciate that, Vlogs. I remember seeing a guy's hand get cut off while we were refitting some pipes. We kept his hand in a cooler. They reattached it at the hospital. He can only move 2 fingers. Hey, at least it took. Sometimes they don't frickin' last. What do you think about the 450 Bushmaster, building one at the moment? It's a cool round. I've never shot it, though. Self-care is very important. Hey, you guys have said it. So, all right, guys. I know that there's a lot of you watching, and I'm sorry I can't get to all your questions. I do this 3 times a week. If you're bored on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, come back, hang out with me. Hit the like button before we go. It just shows Google that, hey, this dumbass is worth having on YouTube, monetizing, and he's a fun guy. That way I get their fucking money. I don't ask you for money. I don't e-beg. I don't beg. I offer you guys rewards for paying me to do shit like wearing fake tits or eating bad fish. But I don't beg you for money. So if you give me money, that's your choice. Man, I got to keep checking you out. Thank you, Tactical. I appreciate that. If you had to choose any wheel gun for personal defense, Ruger GP100. I have that because it's double action, single action. I also have the Ruger SP101 because that's double action only. Sam, have a good one. Pat, have a good one. Alex, night for me and the Goose. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. You have a great one, Alex. And tell Goose thanks for being a fucking king. See you. Talk to you later. Absolutely. Peace out. Do the same for me. Yeah, I'll check you out, Tactical. Bro, you rock so long, and thanks for all the fish. I like that. All good, Joe. Thanks for being out there for the 2A. No problem. How do you do that bad until you try it? How do you know it's not bad until you try it? I've seen a lot of people try it, bro. Hey, be seeing you, Nerdist. Sorry, man. We're ending the stream, dude. 3 hours, 8 to 11. Sorry, I can't go longer. I'm cheap entertainment. Dude, I don't cost you a penny unless, you invite me over for dinner and then I'm eating all your fucking eggs. Because eggs are expensive. Don't forget to slam a cup of chocolate milk. Cookie milk! Have a good night. You guys, too. Also, the operator's getting a long overdue flat trigger. I hope the TRP does. Nice. No need to apologize. No problem, nerds. Sorry. It's just, I love staying late when people come in. But, dude, I am in it, and I need to get some sleep. So, you mother fathers, you have a great one. Here you guys go again. I was late. It happens. Good night. Night, dude. All right, guys. I'm going to hit the X button, and then I'm going to wave at you. And then this is my booby grab.